want the big, big bamboo, bamboo. Ay, 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 ay. He working just to give me dollar. Hold on, watch this. My baby gave me 2 coconuts. I say, baby, these are real nice, but I can take this advice from me. What good is the nut without the tree? I want the big, big bamboo, bamboo. Ay, 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 ay. I say, working just to give me dollar.
From quaint resorts, to Bahamian-made fabrics, to mysterious blue holes, to learning how to hunt boar, to almost scuba diving, to nature walks, there's so much to see and do here in Andros. And I know there's even more. I know my personal assistant will definitely plan another trip here to the big yard very soon.
Succulent seafood, delicious dining, personal chefs make things to your liking. So many islands, gems and keys, beauty to explore, taste and see. Living the fabulous life, but hey, let's live this life forever. Share each moment, our treasure. Let's live this life forever. Share each moment, our treasure. Fabulous living Bahamian style. Let's live the life of movies and magazines. Get a taste of the islands, enjoy everything. Embark on a journey.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Well, it's been a great week, but all good things must come to an end. Today is March 5th, and this is What's Trending. I'm Jiminita Swain. I don't know about you, but I can see the weekend loading, and I'm pretty happy about that. But as for today's show, it's stacked. Ever scroll through TikTok for advice? Before you try it, hear from an expert. We're breaking down the latest viral trends and separating what's hype, what's safe, and what to watch out for. And spring is around the corner. Time to declutter, refresh, and revamp your wardrobe. A fashion expert is in studio with tips to detox your closet. And finally, let's talk big numbers. A $5 billion pledge is making waves across the Caribbean, and it could mean exciting opportunities for the Bahamas. Take a quick break with us. We'll be right back with more you won't want to miss.
Wait, what you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, but
I need the $10 special plate. How many would you like? 20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it? The Marcos got that deal, boy.
We all spend time scrolling social media, and every now and then a video pops up promising the latest trick to help us feel better, from wellness hacks to quick fixes. But before you jump on the trend, it's always best to hear from an expert. And that's exactly what we're doing in our new segment, Before You Try It. Joining us now is licensed pharmacist Dr. Gregor McPhee, here to break down some of the internet's biggest health trends and tell us what's legit, what's overhyped, and what we should be careful about. Welcome to What's Trending, Dr. Gregor.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here with us today. So one of the trends we've been seeing is the cortisol cocktails for stress release. Now, people on TikTok are mixing the drinks, and they claim that it lowers the stress hormones, or basically it resets the body. Scientists say there's no real evidence that these drinks actually affect cortisol, and some ingredients may not work as advertised. So what do you say, Dr. Gregor? Is it true? Is it hype? Or are there safer ways to manage our stress?
So the cortisol cocktail that they've been having on TikTok is pretty much a combination of coconut water, vitamin C, magnesium, and then just sparkling water. Now, the reality is we all know vitamin C, orange juice, coconut water, they're all gonna rehydrate you. So they're gonna rehydrate you and they're gonna boost your immune levels. So there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times when you are dehydrated, your body is stressed and you in turn feel stressed.
Right.
So that may be the angle there. Now, magnesium, which is in addition to the drink, that's really the thing that's doing the job in terms of stress relief. Magnesium, specifically the glycinate, has been shown, proven, research lets you know, it does reduce anxiety. It actually does help you to feel less stressed. It actually helps you with sleep.
Okay.
For some people, they take magnesium to go to sleep.
I do take the magnesium glycinate, that is true.
Exactly. So, the ingredients in the cocktail can help you to feel better in terms of feeling less dehydrated. It can help to relax you in terms of your anxiety levels and everything with the magnesium. Now, will this do anything for your cortisol? Not really. Not really.
But you'll be hydrated.
You will be hydrated,
really
and you'll
glowing.
be feeling better and a little bit sleepy,
Right.
But it's actually not really gonna do anything for your cortisol levels. Everybody is on this cortisol trend. It's not easy to actually reduce your cortisol levels. What you need to focus on is reduction of your stress.
Yes.
The sad part is stress is very much self-induced for most of us.
This is true.
So I can tell people all the time, reduce your stress levels, but do we really want to do the things to help reduce our stress levels? No.
Not really. We'd like to say we're stressed.
Yeah, it
We're
sounds
overstimulated.
good. It feels good.
I don't know.
But
I
we
don't
stay
know.
up late, and we go to work late, and we do all of the things, and then we wait till the deadlines, and we procrastinate. So very much self-induced.
I like that. So there's also been the buzz around Ozempic. The viral posts are promoting berberine as a natural alternative for weight loss or diabetes management. What are your thoughts on this? Is it safe? Is it effective?
So they are not the same.
Okay.
They are not, it's not like, okay, you move away from the GLP-1s and berberine is gonna act exactly like them, because they won't.
Okay.
The focus with the GLP-1s is appetite control, that feeling of fullness, and of course, definitely helping with your glucose levels to reduce your blood sugar. Berberine pretty much acts more from a metabolic level, meaning berberine is gonna burn the fat.
Okay.
Ideally, it's gonna help to burn off the fat. You're probably already doing a low-calorie diet, so you may see more action there. Berberine does help increase some insulin sensitivity in your body.
Okay.
But if you are diabetic, especially if you're type 1, that's not going to do anything for you, because you're already not producing insulin. If you are type 2, which means your body is not using it effectively, taking a supplement like berberine may help to increase your insulin receptors, but this is not something, and then it's the doses you have to worry about.
Okay.
So this isn't something that's gonna happen
balance.
right away.
Okay.
So it has room for some persons, but it's not going to be the hype that people see. Fat burner, definitely, and especially if you're already low in your calories, but it's not really gonna work like the GLP-1s. For a lot of us, the GLP-1s are winning because I'm not hungry. I can go all day and I ain't eating nothing, I'm just drinking water. So of course you can lose weight.
Right.
And then they help to increase that feeling of fullness. You won't necessarily get that with the berberine. So a supplement, yeah, is gonna work very similar, no.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. So, of course, there is another worrying trend. That is AI deepfakes of real doctors promoting supplements or health products with no scientific backing. How can people spot the fakes online and stay safe?
This is so stressful when it comes to persons coming into the pharmacy because, oh, I saw it online.
Yeah.
Really? Where did you see it? Oh, they had it on TikTok. Now, I'm not saying that TikTok doesn't have some good stuff out there because I do spend hours on TikTok myself. I've learned some really interesting things.
Right.
But if you can't go on Google and pull that person's name up and find their office, where they come from, what school they went to. One thing about the US, finding somebody's license information is very easy.
Right.
It is so easy to find out, is this even a reputable person? Almost every physician I know, almost every physician I've heard about, the one thing that we don't do is try to promote products. You never want to be seen promoting products. And if you do, you say, this is a paid advertisement. I've been paid to do this. Here's the research that backs this. AI is so good now. It has everything looking real. Sometimes you're watching stuff and you're like, wait, is that AI? Is that AI? Even real stuff we call an AI now.
Right.
So you have to, how can I verify this information? And then look at multiple sources. You can go on TikTok, find a video for one thing, and then find probably 10 more videos that say the exact opposite.
Right.
So you have to be very careful, verify your information, check multiple sources outside of social media. A couple of clicks can let you know if this is really something that's real. And then what you have to do, if they're advertising something, please, please, please look at the side effects. You're here in the Bahamas, you got your doctor on call, you got your pharmacist on call. Hey, I see this, what y'all think? Just ask.
That makes
You'll be
a lot of
surprised how
sense.
quickly we can provide you with research-driven, evidence-based information to say, no, this is actually the case.
I like
just
that. Just do your due
multiple-
diligence,
that's it.
basically.
Just
do your
ask.
due diligence. I like
Yes.
that. So next up is the bed rotting trend. I know it sounds kind of gross, but it's not really. This encourages people to spend extended hours in bed for, quote, self-care. Experts warn that it can enforce depression, isolation, and poor sleep cycles. So can you talk to us about the difference between rest and avoidance and why structure matters?
So the biggest thing to me with that trend is anything that says rot, why am I going to be excited? So you want me to rot in bed, and somehow rotting, which means spoilage, which is not good, is going to be good for me? That should tell you almost instantly something is wrong here. Now, one of the biggest challenges that we have, and a lot of patients come in, everybody wants a quick fix.
You're right.
I said earlier with the cortisol issue, it's all about stress that we have induced upon ourselves. And for some reason, we've gotten into this society where we just don't want to deal with nothing.
No, we want that speeding bullet, magic fix right away, right
microwave
now.
generation.
Yes, yes.
So I don't want to deal with the realities of life. So I'm going to lay in bed all day and I'm going to doom scroll.
Yeah.
I'm going to just watch TV. And we're not even doing things like reading anymore.
No.
We're going through TikTok and finding all these AIs and all of these other things. So managing your stress, it still comes back to stress. It still comes back to you managing your stress and trying to find more productive ways. Now, there are persons who say exercise, and there are many people who can tell you, yes, when they exercise, they feel better. You don't always have to exercise. For some of us, just structuring your life can actually help you to feel better about yourself. If you do want to stay home, because sometimes people out here people in.
Yes.
Sometimes I always post on my status, I don't want a people today, I want a cat. Which, yeah, looks like bad running, I guess, but no. How about I be the cat who's just gonna play with the yarn? Find something structured to do at home. Pick a room, pick a closet, start to clean it out. Put on your music. Throw your hair in a bun, put on your favorite soca song, and start cleaning out something. Not only will you help to boost your levels naturally, you'll actually be productive, and you know what? You didn't have to people. You didn't have to do anything all day. But you doing that one productive task can actually make you feel better and reduce your stress levels.
Oh, win-win, right?
Nothing like coming home to something that smell clean and look good.
Right?
So yeah, no, bed rotting is not self-care. Bed rotting is just another way of trying to avoid life and the realities of life.
So it's an avoidance tactic.
It is definitely an avoidance tactic, a very unhealthy one.
And finally, of course, there is the anti-sunscreen movement. Social media influencers are claiming that sunscreen is unnecessary or harmful, even though dermatologists warn that skipping SPF increases cancer risks. Is this a myth? Is this a fact? What do you have to say, Dr. Chicago?
So here's the challenge. And the reality is this exists with a lot of things. Sometimes the products that we put in things are problematic. So with a lot of things, I don't know if you remember, it used to be what, the CFCs back in the day when we had to take a lot of chlorofluorocarbons out of all of our aerosol products.
Right.
As we develop, as we learn, we do find that some things that we're using are not good for us. It's the product in the product. Sunscreen is still a necessary thing. We do have to protect our skin. It doesn't matter what color you are. UV rays are harmful. That's been proven. Science proves it, skin cancer proves it. You have to protect yourself from UV rays.
Right.
They are dangerous, they are cancer causing. Now, you gotta be careful with products you use. The reality is some products contain carcinogens and some products actually, false advertising, they don't have what they say they're supposed to have. It may say SPF 75, and when you really do the research on it, it's only SPF 25. And that's just bad companies out there doing bad business. So at the end of the day, it is important. And then you know what, let's be real. I ain't gonna knock no online site which is buy things from would just be dead cheap. Not gonna knock them.
Because everybody watching their coins, right?
You gotta do it. But you know that there are some brands that are much more expensive.
Yes.
And then there are some brands that are much more cheaper. So you just looking for, oh, that's say SPF, and it come off that online site that I could ship from, and you will order it. Don't be surprised when it doesn't have what it claims to have in it. Sometimes you gotta spend the money for the quality products. But definitely sunscreen is a must. You just have to be careful of the products. Make sure you're choosing quality products that are safe for you. And you can always look that up.
That's true. And I know, that like you said, we all scroll through TikTok and there are tons and tons of videos. Remind persons again, generally what to keep in mind when they see
So whenever
these
a video comes up, you gotta ask yourself, is something being sold here? What is supposed to be the takeaway information? Are they trying to get me to buy something? And who is speaking to me? What expertise does this person have? And if they're saying they are so-and-so, can I easily Google them? Can I easily fact check them? I don't know how many of you have ever Googled your own names. Mm-hmm. Google your name, Google the person's name. You'll be surprised how many things come up about them, and that also helps you to know, okay, this is a verifiable source that I can use. And then one thing I do like about social media, once you hashtag something, you can find a whole lot of other videos that talk about it, either speak to it or against it. So watch them all.
So there's no excuse?
No, absolutely no excuse. Don't take one video and run with it and post it on your social media and then call it a day.
And then cause havoc to the pharmacist.
Listen to me. Stress, and I'm telling you, they come in the pharmacy all the time. I saw this, I'm like, okay, pull it up. And then I can go and find another video that says something else.
So just
take your time,
do your due diligence.
in a timely manner. Do not bed rot on TikTok. Lock yourself in, say I can spend 1 hour, 2 hours, and then call it a day.
Well, you know we could go all day.
Listen,
but
you ain't hear me say time yourself. You gotta set your alarm, because them videos be good.
But thank you so much, Gregor, for breaking this all down for us, giving our viewers the facts before they try anything trending online. So thanks again.
Pick up the phone and call us. Call your pharmacist, call your physician. Just ask.
I with you on that. I think it's time to shape up your wardrobe. We're about to turn your closet upside down. Find out why after the break.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales here at CBS Bahamas. When it comes to hardware or home improvement items, we guarantee the lowest prices. That's our price match guarantee. If you find anything we sell for a lower price anywhere in the Bahamas, let us know about it. We will beat that price. We want your business. Shop at CBS Bahamas or cbsbahamas.com.
Downtown Nassau is coming alive thanks to the Tourism Development Corporation. The streets are cleaner and spaces are being reimagined for everyone to enjoy.
We're inviting Bahamians to help us get involved in entrepreneurship. Come and talk with us as the Tourism Development Corporation and help us to revitalize downtown and create opportunities for Bahamians.
With the revitalization efforts of TDC, it's a downtown you can see, feel, and be a part of.
Spring Spring is almost here, which means it's time to refresh your wardrobe. Decluttering your closet isn't just about tidying up. It's about creating a space that sparks joy, highlights your style, and sets you up for the season ahead. Joining us in studio is fashion expert CJ from Silhouette Boutique Collection, here to show us how to declutter, organize, and style our wardrobes for spring. Welcome back to the show, CJ.
Welcome.
It's always a pleasure to have you here with us. Yes. So let's start at the beginning. When we are looking into our closets, it can feel overwhelming. So what's the first step in deciding what to keep, what to pack away, what to let go of altogether?
Well, you know, we just got into spring. So because we just got into spring, everything right now is going to be a bit lighter. So what you should do is take away all of that dark, dreary little pieces, like all of your reds, your leather, stuff like that, wool. So right now, because it's a bit cooler, you're looking for lighter and easier pieces to wear. Anything that screams winter or extremely cold, it's time to get rid of it. I won't say get rid of it, but rather much put it away until that time again.
Okay, so fold it up and put it in the back of the closet.
There you go.
Okay. So once we've decluttered, what are the key pieces everyone should have in their spring wardrobe this year?
This year, you should actually have a nice denim. Okay. So when I say a nice denim, I would say something like this here. It's always amazing, and you're gonna pair your denim, whether it's a hard denim or whether it's a denim that goes with literally a pair of jeans, you're gonna pair it with something trendy. That's prints, simple. Prints on denim. Okay. As simple as that may be. You're gonna put this together and it's gonna lighten up for spring. Because spring literally is about being easy, effortless, and basically coming from church or coming from anything springy, going to brunch or dinner.
So you want to be fun and funky.
Yeah, easy, light.
All right. So we all have that one item that we just can't let go of. Any tips for finally saying goodbye to that particular piece?
Well, that one item for me would be that you can't get rid of, and I always tell people it's a staple item, like that leather pants. Okay. That leather pants, you should put it away, but keep it nearby, because what you're gonna do with that leather pants is gonna come out during nighttime, whether it's spring, summer, it does not matter. Night is night. You wanna have a great time in a piece of leather at the night.
Okay, so we ain't throwing it away. We
ain't throwing away the leather, no. We can put it on the side. There you go.
Okay. So are there patterns or style concepts that are must-have for spring that we should be incorporating? What are the spring colors?
The spring colors right now are pastels.
Okay.
So something like this, it's a light green, amazing. You've got your blush, something like this, amazing. Anything light, anything polka dots as well. That's a spring pattern. This here is a nice pattern for spring, light, easy, and it's lightweight.
And it's flowing too.
It's flowy. You can go from brunch straight to dinner in a dress like this. Very much easy.
And so how do we know when it's time to donate versus store something for next season?
Well, my key element is if you have not worn it in about 2 years, get rid of it. Because the reality of it is you don't need it. You have not seen it, you have not worn it, you don't need it.
It's just taking up space.
Take it away, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So then how do you take pieces from last season and freshen them up for spring?
Simple. What you would do is, like, once again, denim. Take your denim jeans or your denim top, and you're gonna put it with a nice print.
Okay.
Let's just consider this to be a nice top. You're gonna take this with your simple denim and place it with it, as well as you can use your leather at the nighttime. Whether it's a black one or a beige one, this would be perfectly paired with a beige leather legging.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
You've got to know how to use your pieces and be very versatile with it.
And you got to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
So then how can we organize our closets so it's easy when we want to mix and match? And any tips on accessories or layering to make these pieces pop even more if you want to come around? I know that you have some bags, some cutesy bags with you. So how would these feature into an outfit?
Simple as this one here. It's basically like a straw woven print. Amazing on it. Has the pearls, it has the conch shells, all that stuff. You can pair that with your denim. You can pair that with your neutrals. You can pair that with your linens. You can pair that with your cottons. Like I said, for the season, it's all about being lightweight. Lightweight, easy, and just breezy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And same with the other?
The other one. This one here, she is amazing on. She goes with basically everything. paired well with your little dress here. Absolutely stunning. As well as you can pair this with your polka dot top, you can pair this with your denim, you can pair it with whatever you decide to pair it with because it's gonna stand out. Literally this season is about standing out but being subtle and almost neutrals but easy.
And so finally, what are some common mistakes people make when they are decluttering or updating their wardrobe for the season?
They tend to throw away everything or put away everything. You can keep one or two of the pieces. There's no need to throw it away or no need to go and buy overly excessive pieces. Like I keep saying, for this season, it's all about denim, it's all about the polka dots. Once you have your staple denim or your staple polka dots, you will always be good. If you're trying to be bold, the bigger the polka dot, that's a bold. The smaller it is, the much more elegant it is. So it's about being subtle in this season and being lightweight.
And also being vibrant in the colors, because I know we talked about the buttery yellows, the pastel tones, the greens. I saw something with the electric fuchsia. I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
It's about patterns. It's about the colors. Right now, it's literally spring. We're getting ready for Easter. So if you're going to get ready for Easter, something like this, once again, vibrancy, amazing. You want to showcase your colors. You want to showcase personality. As simple as this one is, what I'm about to show you. I'm going to come around so you can see that there. Simple as this is, it has sequins. You know, we're all familiar with a little sequins. Sequins, it's a time for a holiday, whatever, but literally we're in spring now, but you can still get away with sequins because it's a spring sequence. Big difference, but it's an elegant piece, very easy, very breezy. Once again, trend, lace. Delicate, easy lace is always trending. You can never go wrong with a nice elevated lace piece. Amazing. But like I said, for the season right now, we're literally, because we're in spring, you're going to see a lot of denims, you're going to see a lot of polka dots, and you're definitely going to see prints.
So just pull it all together and make it work.
Because right now, you literally want to be in season and wearing something where you can go from brunch and then go out for dinner later on.
I like that.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, CJ, for showing how to spring clean our closets without throwing everything out. So that is great. And for everyone at home, grab a bag, start sorting, and let spring inspire your wardrobe with a refresh. There's more What's Trending coming up.
Economics, presented by Sand Dollar, the digital Bahamian dollar. This week, the Caribbean is making headlines in international finance, and the Bahamas could be a major winner. We'll explore in this week's Economics. The African Export-Import Bank, or the Afri-XM Bank, has just increased its financing commitment to the Caribbean from $3 billion to $5 billion, signaling confidence in the region's growth and potential. This funding is aimed at industrial transformation, agriculture, tourism infrastructure, and small business support, moving Caribbean economies toward value-added growth rather than relying solely on raw exports or tourism. For the Bahamas, this is especially significant. Projects supported by the Afri-XM Bank could mean new investments in infrastructure, expanded tourism initiatives, and private sector growth, creating long-term jobs and economic opportunity for Bahamians across multiple islands. Economists say this isn't just about dollars. It's about partnership, strategy, and long-term regional resilience. With this kind of backing, Caribbean nations can attract further international investment, build stronger trade networks, and diversify economies in a way that benefits everyday citizens. This move also highlights the Caribbean as a global player, showing the world that our region is ripe for strategic, forward-looking investment, and that our governments and businesses are ready to capitalize on it. In short, $5 billion isn't just money. It's a signal of opportunity, growth, and a new chapter for the Caribbean. And the Bahamas is right at the center of it. That's been your Economics.
We know this segment is called Weekend Vibes, but the fun doesn't stop this weekend. The Commonwealth Brewery is giving us something exciting to look forward to on April 9th. Imagine this, you and your best friend at Coachella, VIP passes, flights, hotel, the whole experience. Well, guess what? Heineken is making it happen. They're giving one lucky winner an all-inclusive VIP trip to Indio, California for one of the biggest music festivals in the world. Entering is easy. Pick up a Heineken 6-pack at any 700 Wines and Spirits, then WhatsApp your receipt to 826-7687 or scan the QR code on your screen. Just make sure you enter before April 2nd. So what are you waiting for? Enter now and get ready to live your Coachella moment. Stay with us. There's more coming up right after the break.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember, life's better when it's trending. Stay connected with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS. We'll see you on Monday at 6 p.m. Have a great weekend, everyone.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. Biometric voter card rollout in West Grand Bahama. Officials say the move will modernize the electoral process. Also, mixed reactions to a partial arbitration award in the government and GBPA dispute. And the safety advocates sounded the alarm as workplace accidents continue in high-risk industries.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, biometric voter cards are officially here, with West Grand Bahama among the first areas to benefit from the long-awaited rollout. A promise now coming to fruition. Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson says the shift from paper records to biometric cards is part of a broader effort to modernize the electoral process and improve voter verification. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has tonight's top story.
Anticipated biometric voter cards have officially arrived, with residents now picking them up at the Obadiah Wilchcombe complex. Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson says the new cards will modernize the way Bahamians participate in elections, making it easier to verify voters and strengthening the country's electoral process.
We start out with West Grand Bahama, and we'll be moving throughout the island in the next few weeks or so.
Thompson adds that the goal was to roll out the cards as early as possible. He believes that as the general election approaches, residents will be eager to see the government's improvements in action.
You would still be able to use your purple card during the election. As you can see, the biometric cards are very beautiful, and I think every Bahamian would like to have one of those cards.
In West Grand Bahama, the cards will remain in the constituency and can be picked up at the administration office of the Parliamentary Commissioner. Administrator for West Grand Bahama, Ricardo Ferguson, praised the smooth distribution and urges residents to not delay collecting their cards.
Once the bell rings, then you find that mad dash. And so this process would eliminate that. Even though persons will still be able to use their purple card, but the process now happening gives persons an opportunity to forego that rush.
We spoke with residents who were excited to pick up their cards. Here's what they had to say.
I am very happy, excited. I think that the biometric card is something special, and I think that's a good thing the government has done for the island.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
While a partial arbitration award in the long-running dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority is drawing mixed reactions as residents on Grand Bahama weigh in on what it could mean for governance and economic recovery in Freeport. Raven Davis has that story.
Public reaction is coming in after the partial award in the dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Some residents say they're glad to see the Prime Minister stand up to the Port Authority, saying the government is finally showing it has real authority in the port area, while others are watching closely to see what the ruling might mean for Freeport's future.
This is one of the first times that in my lifetime that a Prime Minister has stand up to the Port Authority. So I was proud of that. And however you look at it, win or lose, I applaud him for doing that.
The first government of the Bahamas tackled the port, said Linden Pillen, and they allowed it to go on too long. I think it's a good step in the right direction.
Earlier this week, reports indicated that the government's $357 million claim against the Grand Bahama Port Authority had collapsed in arbitration. While the partial award addressed several legal points, it did not grant the full financial relief the government had initially sought. Even so, some residents argue that the Port Authority should still be held financially accountable.
That's a little bit of money. They tax us more than that. Every day of our life, they tax us. Either hidden tax and light bill, utility bills. I ain't talking about buying land as waste.
For me, I was very disappointed at the amount of people who were so excited that the government lost because, if they had won, in the sense with the outright $357 million, it benefits us rather than a private institution.
And as for what the ruling means for the future of Freeport, opinions remain mixed.
You may say I'm being negative, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Now, while the partial award clarifies certain aspects of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement and confirms government authority in the port area, residents here in Freeport will be watching closely to see how it translates into real change for the community. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
While co-chair of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Rupert Hayward, issuing an open letter in response to comments made by the Prime Minister. In the letter, Hayward addresses characterizations made about his family and their place in the Bahamas. Hayward writing that he is not a paper Bahamian, but a multi-generational Bahamian, noting that his father was born in the Bahamas before independence and became a citizen when the country gained nationhood in 1973. Hayward also reflecting on his family's long-standing presence in Grand Bahama, saying through hurricanes, global recessions, pandemics, and other economic challenges, the Hayward family has continued to stand with Freeport and its people. While acknowledging that there may be differences in view on the further path for Grand Bahama, Hayward says both the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority ultimately share a common interest in the country's development. For the full release, you can visit our ZNS Northern Service Facebook page. Well, a beachfront project in Bimini has been ordered to stop after questions were raised about whether the proper approvals were in place. PLP candidate for Bimini and the Berry Islands, Randy Rose, says following inquiries made through the Office of the Administrator, he has been advised that no license or permit has been issued for work currently taking place on the beach opposite Bimini World Resort. Rose says in light of that finding, the responsible party has been directed to cease all activity and remove any equipment from the site until a proper application is submitted and fully processed in accordance with the law. He adds that the people of Bimini deserve to know that their beaches and public spaces are being protected, noting that he will continue to monitor the matter to ensure due process is followed and the community's interests are upheld. Switching gears now, workplace accidents continue to remain on high alarm across the country, particularly in high-risk industries like construction. Safety advocates say many of these incidents are preventable and are calling for stronger enforcement and clearer workplace standards. Raven Davis reports.
Workplace accidents continue to spark concern nationwide, particularly in high-risk industries like construction. But are these tragedies unavoidable or preventable? According to the Bahamas Association of Safety Professionals Vice President Eustacia Jennings, the answer is clear.
They're all avoidable. If you look at the root cause and really do analysis, you'll find that all accidents are preventable.
Jennings, who is the principal consultant of Jennings Environmental Safety and Security Consultants, says most incidents stem from a lack of preventative measures put in place.
You can have various means because of a lack of training, because of a lack of equipment failure, what could also be because of lack of inspections and on-time maintenance, etc.
While Jennings says she does not necessarily believe there's been a spike in accidents, she notes limited public data makes it difficult to confirm trends, and analysis of what is reported is also lacking. She also argues that the current Occupational Health and Safety at Work Act does not provide sufficient guidance or enforcement, leaving workers in the Bahamas vulnerable.
It does not have the regulations to accompany them, to tell employers or even employees what are the standards, what should you be doing. Just saying that the employers are supposed to protect the workers is not enough. How do they protect their workers? How much training, what type of training do they need to provide them? What kind of PPE do they need to provide? What kind of systems they need to have in place? What are the basic regulations and standards to protect the workers?
The government, however, says it is taking action. Labor Minister, the Honorable Pia Glover has acknowledged the concerns surrounding industrial accidents and says the Department of Labor is conducting inspections across job sites to ensure safety protocols are being followed.
We have actually, through the OAS, gotten drone technology to learn to how we can assist in remote locations and over our work sites. So very concerned. We know that a lot of training and retraining has to happen.
With accidents continuing to be reported, workplace safety remains a national concern. Jennings recommends that companies establish safety committees and encourage discussions among staff about identifying potential hazards on job sites. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Well, a local pastor is weighing in on why he believes the divorce rate remains high, saying many couples enter marriage without the tools needed to sustain it. He points to preparation, communication, and spiritual guidance as key factors. Sherelle Dames tells us more in this report.
While many blame society or changing values, marriage officer and bishop of Mount Gilead Church of Freeport, Reno Smith, says he believes the issue often starts before the wedding day.
Maybe it's time. Many couples seek premarital counseling. I don't want to say the government should mandate premarital counseling, because we shouldn't rely on the government to make all decisions for us, especially decisions that's based on common sense.
Smith says too many couples focus on the ceremony, but not enough on building the skills needed to navigate marriage, including communication through conflict and having honest conversations about various issues like finances and sexual issues. He says those discussions help couples to honor their vows to stand together for better or worse.
Marriage is fun. Grow together. Plan together. Be enriched by each other. All right? And so don't let these things that could be repaired or prevented cause you to throw away your marriage. Look at our parents and our foreparents, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years.
Bishop Smith also emphasized that strong relationships require a foundation rooted in faith.
If you're not interested in living according to God's law, go shack up. I'm sorry, continue to shack up. All right? But if you want your marriage to be blessed, stop running to a JP. As a matter of fact, JPs can't do weddings in this country. Stop running to persons because of the office they hold to marry you, and then when you get in trouble, you won't run to the church pastor. Seek out godly advice.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dane.
And still to come.
Scotiabank sponsors Junior Junkanoo for a third straight year. Officials say the partnership continues to support youth, culture, and the future of Junkanoo. Stay tuned to that story when we come back.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent, to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Bahamas National High School Leadership Conference and Pageant presents Mr. and Miss High School Bahamas at the Regency Theater this Sunday, March 8th at 7 p.m.
Princess Court Mentoring Ministries presents its 2026 mentoring program at Central Zion Baptist Church, 8 Mile Rock. Girls ages 5 to 18 are invited to experience this life-changing journey March 7th through the 29th. Transportation is available from Burger King downtown. Call 351-8311 for more information. Freeport Fashion Week 2026 presents Dream in Color. Join the opening night fashion show Friday, March 20th at 7 p.m. at the Stone Crab, Tano Beach. Donation is $100 with drinks and hors d'oeuvres included. Tickets available at the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the Stone Crab.
Get your hats ready for the Rose of Sharon Hat Show presented by the Women's Ministries of Community at Heart Tabernacle, Church of God of Prophecy on Coral Road. Come hot ready on March 29th at 5 p.m. and join in this fundraising event.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Well, Scotiabank marking its third year as a national sponsor of Junior Junkanoo with a $75,000 contribution nationally, connecting their efforts with the schools. They set out on a tour to various schools, giving students lessons on money management with their Junior Jumpstart program.
Saving money is like getting a Junior Jumpstart for your future. You can save your money in your piggy bank, or you can save it in your very own Scotiabank Junior account, which is designed especially for students just like you. So we are happy to advise that we have a promotion beginning March 9th for our junior savings accounts. The first 50 students to open an account with us will be credited another $50 from Scotiabank.
Principal of Tabernacle Baptist, Michelle Bain, welcoming the initiative, noting the value of introducing responsible habits at an early age.
The benefits for the Early Jumpstart financial program is to help the children learn how to save and the importance of not just spending but saving money for a rainy day. It teaches them financial literacy.
Well, a two-day beauty showcase is giving high school students a chance to step into the spotlight while learning from industry professionals. Hair show competition organizer Chantel Roll says it's more than a hair competition for these students. It's a platform for growth and global exposure.
It's a two-part competition.
It's 2 days. So the first day, we have the Essence of Beauty seminar. That's where I would have reached out to other professionals in the beauty industry, and asked them to be a part of a panel where we all come together and pour into the youth, And then the second day is the final day, for the competition. This year, our theme is The Wizard of Oz. And students have to depict a character from that movie, and they have to actually bring it to life on stage. This year, just like my first year, the winner gets an all-expense paid trip to an international beauty summit.
Organizers also say the experience doesn't end on stage. The grand prize giving students an opportunity to connect and network with creatives globally. Representative from the Beauty Summit says she's excited to partner with Roll as the event aligns with the mission of their school.
They get to actually see live on-stage battles, whether it be with nail techs, whether it be barbers, whether it be locticians, hairstylists. They get to experience, a wide variety of talent.
We're super passionate about students. They are the future of the industry, and we really kind of want to do whatever we can to create a path for them, because we want to give them that same eye-opening experience that Chantel had as well. Like, wow, this is so cool. I've never been to anything like this. Like, this is my community. These are the people that I connect with and can help me elevate my skills.
Hope that you enjoyed your day. And that is a look at stories making news. Shane, what's happening up in sports?
Well, the track and field regionals are off to the races, plus nightly volleyball championships, they are heating up.
All right, stay tuned. That's coming your way next. Don't go away.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to cosmetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you gain. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Welcome to Kelly's Paradise Boutique. We have a wide selection of ladies' clutches. We have bags. We have slippers. We have accessories. Men, we did not forget about you. We have flams, we have slides, the Nike slides. We also have the Gucci slides. We have dunks, we have the Jordans. We also have belts, we have hats, and we have the shirts. We also have t-shirts, the Godspeed. We also have Nike shirts. We have warm-ups for the guys as well. We have jeans, and we also have regular graffitis. We are located downtown in the old immigration building. So come on down and check us out.
Hey there, welcome back to Health Bites. If you're over 50 and you're trying to live to 100 plus, you need these 4 supplements. Beet powder is great for energy and endurance, great for blood flow, and it's even great for your immune system. Turmeric is great to help reduce joint pain, it helps improve brain health, and it also helps to reduce inflammation. Omega-3s also help with brain health, heart health, and they can even help to improve your cholesterol. Flaxseed oil helps to boost immunity, helps to lower blood pressure, blood sugar, and it helps with overall health and wellness. If you're interested in any of the products in this video, or you just want some more information, stop by your nearest Fitness Connection location or shop online at shopfitnessconnection.com.
Welcome to the ZNS Total Sports Cave, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs. The Northern Bahamas Track and Field Regionals are off to a blazing start. Matthew Martinborough was trackside earlier today, and he's got all the details.
Day one of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Northern Bahamas Regional Track and Field Meet started off strong, with the Sunland Baptist Academy Stingers in particular already seeing a number of their athletes qualifying for the finals. We spoke with Coach Hamilton on Stingers' expectation going into the meet.
Our kids are going out there, they know exactly what is on the table. They have to make top two in order to be qualified for the regionals, and they're going out there and they're doing their endeavor best to ensure that they execute and do what they have to do to make the finals in order to make it to nationals.
Hamilton says there's one stinger to keep an eye on: Criff the hopeful and 400-meter finalist Zion Bradford.
I had a good mindset trying to qualify because I know we have the clock down, so just trying to qualify in the 400. The heat was just a bit breezy today. The weather ain't perfect, but for the heat, I just wanted to gauge what it was going to be like for the finals.
With many students across the Northern Bahamas vying for podium finishes, only the best of the best can look forward to nationals at the end of the meet. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Meanwhile, the Fantasy Ravens took a 1-0 series lead over the PB All-Stars in the Women's Championship for the Grand Bahama Volleyball Association. They'd serve up a two-set sweep, 25-13 and 25-20. Here's Tiara Williams and Coach Antonio Jennings on how they got the W.
We just came in strong and activated, played together, called for the balls, and worked together as a team. We sure we was able to execute. Just played the sport how we know to do it.
Cohesiveness, good team playing, nice communication, execution, defense, perfect. Tonight was an excellent game.
Over in the co-ed championships, the Youth in Action Ballers lead the Sandbasket Blasters 1-0. And finally, Coach Yolek Maffie McEwen and her number 24 ranked Ole Miss Lady Rebels will take the floor against the Auburn Tigers tonight in SEC tournament action. The teams meet for the second time this season. The Rebels won that matchup 71-45. The Rebels are 8-8 against SEC opponents. And that's your sports fix this evening. Your check on the local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs. Catch you all on the rebound.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
From the onset, let's just confess that Grand Bahama is a big deal. We are on the move, and the progress made is undeniable. So let's give it up to Grand Bahama. So as we look ahead, Grand Bahama's growth strategy is guided by resilience, inclusivity, and sustainability. Our development model must absorb shocks, adapt, and recover. This means smarter infrastructure, diversified income, and forward planning. Investments must translate into opportunities for Bahamians, not just through jobs, but advancement opportunities on those jobs, training, spin-off entrepreneurial opportunities, and community development through corporate social responsibility.
My commitment to you is that this administration will keep choosing the path that brings the back of all of old corporatocracy and build something stronger in its place, with energy reform backed by real capital, with infrastructure that matches your ambition, and with Grand Bahamians, not outsiders, at the center of the story. The next time a 22-year-old Bahamian arrives in Grand Bahama with a suitcase and a dream, I want them to see what I saw in 1974, a place where the future is being built.
Digital Wave is making its mark across the Bahamas. From Grand Bahama to Anagua, Bahamians are embracing smarter ways to pay. The Pay Fast, Live Digital campaign, launched by the Central Bank of the Bahamas and the Clearing Banks Association, is bringing safe, fast, and convenient payment solutions to every island, from online banking to mobile wallets.
We had an incredible turnout, so it gave us an opportunity to have a conversation that they can also be a part of and appreciate.
Remember, people over 60 and around 60, the fear that you talk about, we understand, and we have persons to be able to assist with that.
I learned that digital banking is going to be one of the biggest ways that us as Bahamian kids will benefit in the future.
It has to start somewhere, and this is a good start.
We're empowering communities, one town hall at a time, for families, for businesses, for you. Let's live digital.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Has a live look at the Bahamas tonight coming your way next.
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
Gymnastics requires discipline, dedication, and a strong sense of balance, just like doing good in our community. In gymnastics, every move counts. Every step, every leap, every turn. Just like in our communities, where every action, every act of kindness, every effort to help makes a difference. I am the creator of Posh Girl Symposium. Posh is a symposium for 5th and 6th graders at Queens College where they are encouraged to be more passionate, optimistic, strong, and healthy, and stamp out hunger. We collect unused quality stamps to feed the hungry. Some people don't have the basic necessity of food, so I wanted to be able to help. Be the balance, the strength, and the grace your community needs. Together, we can achieve greatness. Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a new energy era. The Bahamas takes on its largest, most ambitious yet complex restructuring of the electricity system. We have the details of what reforms the new agreements will usher in. Plus, a progress report on new staff accommodations over in Abaco ahead of its health centers opening next month. And a chronic disease on the rise worldwide, and the local numbers only leaning into that trend. A leading nephrologist lets us in why, though prevalent, kidney disease is often hard to detect. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. The Bahamas to enter a new era of energy reform, one the government's touting as the largest restructuring of the electricity system since its inception. The government now extending an invitation to the business community, residents, and key stakeholders for feedback at today's Energy Reform Stakeholders Forum at the Bahama Resort. Fern Carey has all the details in tonight's top story.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis describing the push to restructure the country's energy sector as ambitious, complex, long-term, and designed to give Bahamians a modern power system that works. The Prime Minister's comments came as he addressed the Energy Reform Stakeholders Forum. He stressed that transparency and public engagement was the main purpose of the conference, and he invited active engagement from attendees.
Our officials from the Ministry of Energy and Transport from BPL and from the project partners are here to walk through the structure of the reforms, to explain how the bills are calculated, how the contracts fit together, and how the path from where we are now to where we aim to be has been mapped. I've invited the leader of the opposition and his colleagues to take part as well. If they believe the conclusions they have shared with the public, there's no better place to test those claims than here, in front of the country, with the experts in the room and the documents on the table.
The forum comes as the government has released more than 3,000 energy agreements and supporting documents, including power purchase agreements for the public record, in a bid to promote transparency.
For the first time, we are tackling the full structure of the system: generation, fuel, transmission and distribution, debt, and subsidies. And we are doing so with a clear line of sight to the future. We are also creating new fields of opportunity for Bahamians. The shift to gas, solar, storage, microgrids, and smart networks bring with it new skills, new trades, and new professions.
The National Energy Reform Agenda is expected to boost the country's economic competitiveness and drive down the cost of living while protecting our national sovereignty.
If we are 100% dependent on imported fuel, our economy is hostage to geopolitical events thousands of miles away. True independence is the ability to power our own homes and industries using our own resources and strategic planning.
Now, at the end of the day, the main purpose is to drive down the cost of electricity for consumers and promote a more reliable electricity system. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, the cost of energy, a huge challenge for Eleuthera business owners, and according to that island's chamber president, that's been the case now for years. In this report, he shares suggestions on what the government should consider. Lloyd Allen has that story.
In the United States, they give tax credits. In Canada, they give credits to be able to implement solar, renewables, and in fact to reduce some of the consumption, which takes a little bit of the demand off the system.
For many Eleuthera residents, the issue of inconsistent utility supply has been a sore topic for decades, forcing many consumers to simply adjust as officials work on correcting the challenges. Improvements are being made to water mains in James Cistern and Hatchet Bay through the public-private partnership with Bahamas Striping and the government's bold energy reform now unfolding. And with these initiatives, the Eleuthera business community is hoping for other infrastructural improvements to further propel business.
Talk about the solar installation, a very positive thing needed, and I commend the government for moving forward in that. But the reality is my understanding that the build out is 12 to 18 months. You know, we are growing at a rate of 10% per annum at minimum. By the time they get that in place, that's not going to be large enough to support.
Looking at the long-term game, his solution to residents is to pivot.
There was a level of growth prior to COVID that was sustainable but a steady pace. That level of growth almost doubled as we came out of COVID and as investments started to take place. I think one of the challenges is the analysis of the past of what was needed is behind what is needed today. If a business could reduce its energy costs by energy efficient equipment, but also looking at renewables at the same time, we make a difference in the price point for their operations.
And while infrastructural development remains an ongoing process across the island, residents are hopeful that their island too will continue as an active contributor to the Bahamian economy. Reporting from Rocksound, Eleuthera, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. Back here in the capital, Bahamas Power and Light's Chief Operating Officer Anthony Christie says assessments are underway to determine how to improve the energy grid in Coral Harbor and other communities in western New Providence following a series of power outages in those areas on Tuesday. He says the goal is to enhance the reliability of power to customers.
Work continues. As of 11 o'clock last night, all customers were restored
But again, we apologize for any inconvenience experienced. But again, the team continues to work, and as we know, work continues across the island to improve our system and ensure that we reduce the outages and restore as quickly as we can.
Well, as you just heard, Christie says power has been fully restored to the affected communities.
Luckily, the company would have engaged a fuel hedging program the last few months, and again, we're basically fuel hedging, so our price of fuel is controlled. We won't see or be impacted by this volatility that's occurring in the Middle East. I just checked my phone, and it's showing that the crude oil is up to $85. I guess a few weeks ago it was around $60-some, but again, based on our fuel hedge, we're protected from this, and again, we're trying to control and make sure that our price of electricity stays stable as we work through all of these energy initiatives that's happening now.
In other news tonight, a partial arbitration award in the long-running dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority drawing mixed reaction from Grand Bahama residents on what this could all mean for governance and economic recovery in the city of Freeport. Raven Davis tells us more.
Public reaction is coming in after the partial award in the dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Some residents say they're glad to see the Prime Minister stand up to the Port Authority, saying the government is finally showing it has real authority in the port area, while others are watching closely to see what the ruling might mean for Freeport's future.
This is one of the first times that in my lifetime that a Prime Minister has stand up to the Port Authority. So I was proud of that. And however you look at it, win or lose, I applaud him for doing that.
The first government of the Bahamas tackled the port, settling and building, and they allow it to go on too long. I think it's a good step in the right direction.
Earlier this week, reports indicated that the government's $357 million claim against the Grand Bahama Port Authority had collapsed in arbitration. While the partial award addressed several legal points, it did not grant the full financial relief the government had initially sought. Even so, some residents argue that the Port Authority should still be held financially accountable.
That's a little bit of money. They tax us more than that. Every day of our life, they tax us. Either hidden tax and light bill, utility bills. I ain't talking about buying land as wife.
For me, I was very disappointed at the amount of people who were so excited that the government lost because, if they had won, in the sense with the outright $357 million, it benefits us rather than a private institution.
And as for what the ruling means for the future of Freeport, opinions remain mixed.
You may say I'm being negative, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Now, while the partial award clarifies certain aspects of the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement and confirms government authority in the port area, residents here in Freeport will be watching closely to see how it translates into real change for the community. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Well, we could also tell you tonight that relief could be on the way for Bosine Town residents, many of whom have been in limbo for decades because of long-standing issues with obtaining their legal property titles. Housing and Urban Renewal Minister, the Honorable Keith Bell, announcing in the House of Assembly yesterday that these matters are being addressed.
This government has intervened to acquire the title to the relevant lands so that the situation can be regularized in a lawful and orderly manner. This allows the Ministry of Housing and Urban Renewal to begin the process of bringing certainty where there has been long-standing confusion. Yes. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the objective is straightforward: to ensure that families who have lived in these communities for years can ultimately obtain lawful, secure, and marketable title. Those families living on Knowles Drive, the entire Bosine Town area.
Mr. points out that this situation is one that has happened across the country and to many families, but pledges the government is determined to put an end to it.
Many years ago, a quieting action was commenced in relation to lands in the Bosine Town area. That action began with the intention of bringing clarity and certainty to title. However, like many matters in our country's land history, the process did not reach a timely conclusion. It lay dormant for many years. When the matter was eventually determined decades later, the result created a deeply undesirable situation.
Coming up, nearly 7 years after Hurricane Dorian, there's new housing for Marsh Harbor healthcare workers. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. That and more in a moment.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
John, I just found out that KFC has an irresistible promo.
Crunch into the juicy flavor of the new KFC Rapstar. A classic made modern that's crunchy, melty, and grilled to perfection for all the journeys of your day. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
You're still here?
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
I put my foolish pride aside in acknowledgement of your goodness. Everything is the Lord's in the earth in its fullness.
It's MADIO Mario, and I'm inviting you to tune into Entertainment Fridays on the Bahamas Tonight Access Now at 7:30 p.m. You miss it, you diss it.
To fall, but was caught before I fell. Was so hard-headed, too stubborn, I asked for help.
That's the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Well, you're looking at a shot there of East Street looking south just beyond the Church of God of Prophecy, and that shot courtesy of drone pilot Shane Gibson. Welcome back. Kidney disease is on the rise. What's more troubling is that its prevalence increases each year, with the number pegged at 850 million globally. Here at home, 1 in every 8 people suffers from some form of the condition, according to Executive Medical Director of the Bahamas Kidney Association, nephrologist Dr. LeVard Roberts, who says at last count over 600 people were on dialysis throughout the country.
So kidney disease is no respecter of persons, okay? Although we have more females being diagnosed, it's actually a kind of misnomer that females just seek medical attention more than males. Believe it or not, it's the fact that males present later. You know, really? We kind of wait, we hide things, we kind of take care of it at home. And when the symptoms are really apparent, that's when we seek medical care. Whereas the females, they get diagnosed early, so the intervention is early. And that's the key with kidney disease, early intervention and prevention, okay? The first 3 to 4 stages of kidney disease, there's typically no symptoms. When the symptoms develop, that's when your kidney function is 20% or less, okay? That's when you start to see the swelling in the legs, the difficulty breathing, the itching, the nausea, the loss of appetite, the weight loss. That's the end stages and symptoms of kidney disease.
Again, the key, says Dr. Roberts, is getting checked.
Getting checked, getting those annual blood and urine testing, because that's the early symptoms, early signs of kidney disease. When that creatinine in your blood rises, that's because your kidney is having trouble clearing out the toxins. Wow. When you have protein or blood in the urine, there's some microscopic damage in the kidney that needs to be intervened earlier when it's reversible, because when that inflammation turns into scarring, there's nothing much we can do but start the dialysis machine in some persons. The 2 most common reasons for kidney failure is diabetes and hypertension. It's not only just in our country, but this is worldwide. Both are on the rise. when you have uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension, it's a snowball effect, and that kidney failure, it becomes exponential.
Well, 4 Cuban nationals taken into custody following a joint maritime security operation in the Quezal Bank area. Authorities say the individuals were discovered on board a derelict vessel at Elbow Key. The 4 migrants were captured at U.S. Coast Guard by U.S. Coast Guard officers. We're told 3 were found to have Florida residency status. The migrants are expected to face processing for illegal entry into the Bahamas and possession of an undeclared firearm. Well, Caribbean Pavement Solutions, a subsidiary of Bahamas Striping Group of companies, work on Eleuthera's roads is halfway complete. Here's BSGC General Manager Melanie Roach.
Well, it's 163 miles of roads. That is 90 miles of highway and 73 miles of settlement roads. But I think we're most excited about the new things that we're doing because this is going to be our first waterworks project. So we have 5 sets of waterworks to complete. We are nearing completion on the Bannerman Town portion, and then we have waterworks in Rock Sound, in Tarpon Bay, in James Cistern, in Rainbow Bay, and in Hatchet Bay. And that includes both highway and within the settlements themselves.
The work coming as welcome news to some 1,000 residents.
We have new water mains, different diameters. Some are 8, some are 6. Then inside the settlements, we're actually doing 6-inch and 4-inch, and then we have the service laterals. So everybody will be getting a new water service in Hatchet Bay and James Cistern. Tarpon Bay is just portion, and Rock Sound is just a portion. Rainbow is total.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
Wait, what are you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large 1,000 pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, but
I need the $10 special plate. How many would you like? 20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Well, it's been years in the making, and now in a matter of weeks, a new housing facility will open for Abaco healthcare workers. But the Ministry of Health says it's more than just accommodations. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
accommodations for the Marsh Harbor Healthcare Center on Abaco sustained major damage in 2019's Hurricane Dorian. But come April, a new housing complex that includes a training room will be operational. Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, says the new facility was born from a partnership between the University of Miami and his ministry and will house visitors when advanced training is taking place on Marsh Harbor.
There's a big conference room, and the majority of the other rooms are for accommodation, particularly for international staff who come into Abaco to continue the training for advanced life support, for training for disaster preparedness, for training for disaster medicine, and the list goes on and on. So this is a very important asset. We learned a lot from Hurricane Dorian, and we definitely don't want to be in the same position we were in. God forbid we have another major hurricane that come this way.
Work on the residence that can accommodate approximately 20 began shortly after Hurricane Dorian, and although he could not provide a price tag, Darville explains the delay.
Because the plans were generated in the United States, they had to come into the local community and meet the essential building codes. Once that was completed, then the work continued.
Associate Director for Global Partnership at the University of Miami Institute, Judy Bertrand-Farmer, says after the previous storms were destroyed in Hurricane Dorian, it was important for the University of Miami to partner with the ministry beyond accommodations, and for them, training is included.
Really prepared to come and work together to train staff and contribute in any way the ministry see fit.
Dr. Darville says staff will do clinical work at the healthcare center, with training also taking place at the complex. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, good things happening there over in Abaco, and we're going to keep that momentum going with a check on what's coming up in Access Now. Royce, Marlena?
Good evening, Makushla. Now, you know they say good things happen to those who wait, but tonight we are not just taking flight to the Family Islands, we are literally taking off in the studio.
Oh yeah, in case you didn't know, this week is Women in Aviation Worldwide Week, and we actually have some of the Women in Aviation International Bahamas chapter in the house with us tonight. So if anybody at home has a woman or young girl interested in flying,
yes,
you might want to tune in. There might be some opportunities sprinkled in this interview that you might want to learn about.
Absolutely.
See there, Royston, girls do rule the world.
They certainly do. They certainly, I'm in agreement with that.
Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is gonna be great. This is your day of victory.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Back at Little Caesars and good. Our popular Chicago-style pizza is back for a limited time only. Enjoy this delicious, thick, buttery crust pizza that's packed with layers of cheese, meats, and veggies for just $18. That inclusive. Now available at all 5 of our locations. Little Caesars, Oakville, Carmichael Road, East Street, Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and 1 East Plaza.
Pizza, pizza.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say, welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lopinder.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
Police make their presence felt in an inner-city community, hoping to foster better relationships there. We've got all the details.
Plus, the Education Minister continues her school tour. Those details straight ahead.
Also, volunteerism and community leadership gets a boost with the introduction of a new pilot club. You want to stay close for that one.
And in sports, it's day 2 of the GSSA Track and Field Championships.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Well, good evening on this thankful Thursday. I'm Royston Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
Welcome indeed. Now, today we recognize a sound that is distinctly Bahamian, Rake and Scrape. The month of March has been proclaimed Rake and Scrape Cultural Heritage Month, an initiative led by the Ministry of Education to celebrate and preserve one of our most indigenous musical traditions.
And what's especially interesting is how it's being introduced throughout the school curriculum, from preschool all the way through grade 12, connecting young Bahamians to the history, rhythm, and cultural roots that help shape our national identity and national sound.
Absolutely, that's so true, because when culture is taught and celebrated and shared, it strengthens a sense of who we are as a people. And with that said, let's dive right into the news. In an effort to strengthen ties with residents and promote safer communities, police officers stepped directly into sections of the inner city, meeting face-to-face with those who live and work in the area. Shaquille Dames tells us more tonight.
Police officers stepped out into the wider community as a part of a national walkabout marking the start of Police Month. Senior officers, led by Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles, joined officers on the ground in the Quaco Street community and neighborhood areas to speak directly with the residents and garner their concerns.
So the assistant commissioners and all their commanders are in the areas that they police in New Providence and the Family Islands. And so
This is the day that everybody comes out of those administrative posts and get out on the streets, go and meet the people in the community and listen to their concerns.
Residents say that connecting with officers is something they see regularly, not just during special initiatives like the walkabout. They feel consistent police patrols and engagement have helped to make the neighborhood feel safer.
Well, the police walk is excellent, but I'm just letting the head know that the officers from Quaco Street Police Station are doing an excellent job.
Our police force in this area is outstanding. All right. At least 10, 12 times a day the police ride through here, but not only through here. All right, you riding on East Street, you see them going through different corners. All right. And as a result of that, it makes the area safe. And they do that not only in the day, they do it in the night as well. And we, the people in this area, appreciate them for it.
We try to limit the opportunities that criminals have in every area. But let's talk about the good people in our inner city. When you think about the people who are in Baintown and Grantstown and Angliston, there are so many beautiful people who are not affiliated with crime and who care so much about their community. Those are the people we want to touch and to say to them that the Royal Bahamas Police Force stands with you. We will continue to do our best to make sure that you are safe, that you can traverse the streets free and fair of being harassed, and we welcome that.
And as Police Month continues, officials say residents can expect to see more outreach activities designed to keep that same dialogue going. Police say the goal is not just visibility, but building stronger partnerships with the people who live here. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Shaquille Dames.
Thanks, Shaquille. Well, excitement filled the air at Kingsway Academy today as students welcomed a special visitor who's been making the school rounds to inspire the nation's youth. Amaya Moss shares the details.
The sound of bells, music, and joyful laughter filled the halls of Kingsway Academy on Burnett Road as students rolled out a heartfelt welcome for the Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin. From vibrant cultural dances to warm smiles and thoughtful gifts, the children expressed their appreciation in the purest way they know how. That reflected the values the school has worked for decades to instill. Director of Academic Affairs Dorothy Anderson spoke of the pivotal milestone as an important opportunity to showcase the institution's mission. The idea is to nurture young minds and equip the bright scholars with the tools needed not only in the classroom, but to serve them well into the future.
We believe education is not merely the transmission of information, but the intentional formation of responsible, principled citizens who will contribute meaningfully to the development of our nation.
The minister, visibly touched by the warm reception, commended the school's leadership, teachers, and students for upholding a tradition of excellence that has stood strong for 67 years.
We love you. We are hopeful for you. We pray God's hand on your lives. We pray that you will go from strength to strength. Our national anthem says, see how the world, not your mommy, not your school, not the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, see how the world marks the manner of your bearing. I am here to encourage you, to say how proud I am of you, how much I love you, every single one of you. I see young people and my heart is full, because I know what you can bring. And trust me, if you really do it, the world will stop in awe.
For nearly 7 decades, Kingsway Academy has done more than educate. It has helped shape generations of young Bahamians that will one day carry the nation forward. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Inspiring words from the minister, as always. Thanks so much, Amaya. Now, a significant step taken in strengthening volunteerism and community leadership among women in the formation of a new pilot club. The Coral Gem Pilot Club of Nassau is already being hailed as a powerful reflection of the organization's global mission.
When I
took the office of president, I was just hoping that our clubs would grow, that we would grow one. We have about 250 clubs across the world, and I was hoping if we could just get 250 new members. And this is our second new club to charter this year. So we're super excited to see the growth. And you know, we're always excited from the United States. We watch the Bahama District because they always have the cool technology, right? They always do the videos first. They always do the reels. So we're always excited to see what they have and how it can just grow our message across the nation.
Established in 1921 in Macon, Georgia, Pilot International was formed when 40 business and professional women came together and committed to advancing humanitarian causes, supporting scholarships, and assisting individuals with medical needs. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, Phaedra Ramming, underscored the importance of initiatives that empower women and promote national development.
All of your chapters are very much welcome to be a part of our process. If you are no longer involved, we would wish to welcome you back to the fold so that you can be a part of it, and let's see how we can get some wonderful things ahead, not only for our women, knowing that by women, everything is touched. Family, everyone is helped. So if we look at that as our broad base and we continue to forge ahead, we will have a better Bahamas. And by extension, those who are visiting, you're going to help us get there.
Well, still to come, it's Women of Aviation Worldwide Week, and we've got some high flyers in studio. You'll meet them next. And Diane Dorsett has your Access weather forecast. So stay close.
New Providence! This is our moment of unity. Bam, 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 bam. Feel the rhythm, feel the purpose, feel the power of togetherness. On Tuesday, March 24th at 9:30 a.m., the journey begins as the baton of camaraderie run ignites the spirit of the GSSSA schools of New Providence. From campus to campus, junior to senior high, the baton will travel through our government schools, symbolizing unity, teamwork, respect, and shared responsibility. Each handoff tells a story. Each stride carries pride. Each school plays a role. Rack attack. That's not just the beat, that's the sound of schools connected. That's the sound of New Providence moving as one. The journey builds, the energy rises, and on Thursday, March 5th, the final exchange will be made to the Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, officially ushering in the opening of the GSSSA 2026 Track and Field Championships. This is more than a run, it's a message. It's a movement. It's New Providence standing together for its youth. Baton of camaraderie run, fueling the nation through youth athletics. The road to GSSSA 2026 begins here. New Providence, pass it strong, run it proudly, carry it together.
Some burgers are simple. The Barbecue Crispy King, this one goes all in. Smoky barbecue sauce, crispy bacon, flame grilled beef, stacked high flavor in every bite. In Nassau, we don't do small, and we definitely don't do boring. And when morning hits, the Breakfast Barbecue Crispy King has that bam to start the day. Burger King Nassau, triple down on big flavor.
For more than 3 decades, the Bahamas Bridal Show has made dreams come true, all on a single day in a ballroom decorated wall to wall. Meet Forting Wedding and Home Suppliers, giving away thousands of dollars in great prizes while you enjoy a fashion show, wedding demonstrations, food, and champagne sampling. Someone to Love comes to Bahamas Grand Hyatt, 2 p.m. Sunday, March 22nd. Purchase tickets for this spectacular wedding and event show at bahamasevents.net or call 421-9783.
Imagine putting $25 gas in your car, scanning the QR code, and winning a whole cruise and so much more. Well, that could be you with the New Year, New Things promotion happening right now at Rubis. From now until March 27, spend $25 or more in fuel and win one of our amazing prizes such as $500 worth of Rubus gift cards, Fidelity prepaid Visa cards, BPL vouchers, a 3-night stay at the Margaritaville Hotel, a PS5, and we'll be sending a lucky person on a cruise. I can't wait to see what you win. It's New Year, new things with Rubus. Don't forget, spend $25 or more, scan the QR code, fill out the form, upload your receipt, enter, and win. That's my boo. I ain't getting leave. I can see y'all on the cruise. Don't leave me, don't leave me.
Royston, it's Thursday, Friday Junior, and it's time for your Access Weather Forecast, your quick look at what's shaping our weather for the next few days. Our satellite picture is showing some low-level clouds over the southeast Bahamas, which could trigger a few passing showers in that part of the country tonight and tomorrow. Otherwise, skies are mostly clear across the remainder of the islands. Now, a ridge of high pressure across the island chain will continue to maintain moderate to strong winds through the weekend. Because of those conditions, boaters are once again reminded to exercise extreme caution, and swimmers should stay out of the waters due to the high risk of rip currents. Now, taking a look at your boating forecast. In the northwest Bahamas tonight through Saturday, expect winds easterly at 12 to 18 knots, seas at 3 to 6 feet. We'll experience high tides at 9:39 this evening and another one at 9:34 in the morning. For boaters in the central and southeast Bahamas, winds will be easterly at 15 to 25 knots, seas at 5 to 8 feet with that small craft advisory still in effect. It's time now for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. International temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance, and that wraps up your Access Weather Forecast. Royston, Marlena.
If the last couple of days is any indication of our summer, we're in for a hot one. Thanks so much, Diane. It's time now for your BTC Connection.
Well, push-to-talk is a fancy name for a walkie-talkie over the mobile network. So essentially, you're able to communicate with members of your team using a push-to-talk device, or, for lack of a better word, a walkie-talkie device, through the mobile network. The beauty of push-to-talk, as long as the individuals are connected online, either on mobile or on Wi-Fi, you can communicate throughout the length and breadth of the country. And so because of that, we have a number of customers that have signed on for the service since we launched it last year, and it's been going great. Well, our largest client right now is the Bahamas Immigration. They have both our push-to-talk and our body cam solutions. So body cams to go along with the push-to-talk service. We also have a number of security firms. We have some retail firms that are signed up, and we have a couple of ones in the prospect bag that we're really excited about. So once we get them across the finish line, be happy to share more about that. But the product is growing. More information is becoming available to the masses, and we're getting a lot of inquiries.
This week, women in aviation all over the world are celebrating the fly girls who represent the air and space industry. March 2nd to 8th is Women of Aviation Worldwide Week, a time set aside to highlight the advancements in the field and pay special tribute to the women who make it happen.
Joining us on the show tonight to talk more about it are President and Vice President of the Women in Aviation International Bahamas chapter, Monique Knowles and Italia Seymour.
Thank you so much for joining us on Access Now.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks so much. Now, what is the local chapter here all about?
Well, we were formed in September of 2025 to inspire, empower, and advance women in aviation, and to bring our awareness to the global network and to help the advancement of the future generation of aviators in the Bahamas.
Powerful. And representation is so important. Yeah, it's a big task, but it is also important for little girls to be able to see women already doing these things. Now, speaking of that, what is the significance of Women of Aviation Week in the Bahamas?
The significance of Women in Aviation Week in the Bahamas is that we celebrate it with all of the other aviation industries throughout the world. This is a week that we get to highlight women in various aspects of aviation and really celebrate what we're doing. Throughout the world, we're about 3 to 5% of the aviation industry. So we're really trying to encourage persons, women, girls, to follow in the aviation profession.
That's so important, especially with so low representation and trying to get that number up.
Yeah.
But for young aspiring women who want, or young girls who want to be in the aviation sector and pilots, are there any mentorship programs or initiatives they can be a part of?
Well, we would encourage them to, of course, join Women in Aviation, the Bahamas chapter. They can visit our website. If you search just Bahamas and Women in Aviation, something will pop up with our logo and name and our website, and it's very detailed. You can join the organization. The international body represents over 23 countries, 170 chapters.
Wow.
The Bahamas made history as the first in the region by being formed, and so that was a big feat for us locally, and we would encourage everybody to join us and help build our membership and grow the network.
Now, I think one assumption a lot of people make about aviation is that it's just pilots. What are the other areas that maybe young girls who are interested, they know they like flying, but maybe they don't want to be at the wheel? What other roles are there for them?
Oh, there are numerous roles in the aviation industry. There's the Civil Aviation Authority, which is a regulatory industry. So that would be an aspect. Also, there are mechanics, there are dispatchers, there are cabin crew, numerous things that women, girls can be a part of and thrive in and be a part of the aviation industry.
That's so important, of course. Now, when we were off here, you did mention that there were supposed to be a few other people here that you wanted to mention. I want to give you an opportunity to do that before we close
Definitely.
up.
Yes, we have several founders that help myself and Natalia form the chapter, and so we have Andrea Wood, and we have Andresha McKinney, and we had Valerie Derrison and Shantara Davis Gastrick. So I just want to say a special thank you to those ladies. The 6 of us formed the chapter, and without them, Natalia and I wouldn't be sitting here today. So we thank you, ladies, and we love you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Love you, yeah.
For our audience who doesn't know, can you tell us your specific roles in the aviation industry?
I work as the Assistant Station Manager for STS Line Maintenance, which is the body that controls the maintenance, and so we fuel and fix the planes. I'm actually the only female with a staff of about 5 technicians, and so I help do the administrative parts. We talked about roles. I don't know how to fix the plane, but I know how to do the admin behind the scenes. And yes, and so I'm responsible for that aspect.
Thank you for that.
And I am a manager at Civil Aviation Authority, Bahamas, which is the regulatory arm of the aviation industry. I am the manager of internal audit, risk and compliance. So I review risks throughout the entire authority, and that impacts the aviation industry in the Bahamas.
Well, thank you for
we look to see what they do to ensure that it's being done correctly.
Thank you both for all of your work, and you keep us so safe. You have to almost fly anywhere if you don't want to take almost a couple of days to get there. So we need those.
Now too.
Yes, yes. I know you'll have me safe. Now, obviously, last year on September 20th, it was named Girls in Aviation Day. Your chapter was formed last September. What did that mean to you when the Prime Minister made that Girls in Aviation Day?
Well, it was a big step for us. It was our first flag event. Of course, Girls in Aviation Day is celebrated worldwide, so we joined over 30 chapters in promoting that. The proclamation from the Prime Minister indicated to us that the Department of Aviation and the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation is on board and has sanctioned our, development and are steadily pushing us and being our cheerleaders in the background and helping us to advance human capital, which is part of the National Strategic Plan, and to help foster the development and the advancement of women in the industry.
Beautiful. And then just before we go, one message you would have to any little girl at home who's dreaming of working in aviation. Go.
If the sky is the limit, there's opportunity everywhere. You just have to grasp it. And we're here to help wherever we can, through mentorship, through scholarships, through help in general.
Absolutely love that. We have to have you back to talk some more. And thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It's time now to turn things over to ZNS Total Sports to see what's on tap.
Day 2 of the GSSA Track and Field Championships. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Downtown Nassau is coming alive thanks to the Tourism Development Corporation. The streets are cleaner and spaces are being reimagined for everyone to enjoy.
We're inviting Bahamians to help us get involved in entrepreneurship. Come and talk with us as the Tourism Development Corporation and help us to revitalize downtown and create opportunities for Bahamians.
With the revitalization efforts of TDC, it's a downtown you can see, feel, and be a part of.
Here at Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. Every aisle is filled with all you need. A great value with a variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products. Saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you. Bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang.
Welcome to your Thursday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Day 2 of the GSSA Track and Field Meet getting underway this morning. And with that, the official opening ceremony. Our 400-meter specialist, Eugene Stewart, was trackside and filed this report.
Well, it was an exciting day of competition here for Day 2 of the GSSA Track and Field Championships. Organizers hosting their opening ceremony to commemorate this year's meet. Let's take a look at some of the action. The sounds of John Canoe by the R.M. Bailey Pacers echoed the grounds of the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium for Day 2 of competition. The opening featuring a display of all 15 teams that will be going head-to-head in both the junior and senior divisions. GSSA President Van Dyke Bethel, Minister of Education, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, and the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, with some encouraging words to our young athletes.
For our athletes today, compete with heart. Represent your schools with pride, and remember that the next Bahamian champion may very well be standing on this track right now.
You are the energy of this nation. Every time you train, compete, and push beyond your limits, you are shaping not only your own future, but the future of our country. Athletes, stay focused and disciplined. Compete with pride and integrity. Remember, while winning is important, character is everything.
Let's keep this a beautiful event. Young men, young ladies and gentlemen, I am proud of all of you. You make me proud to be Bahamian. And I know you're going to set a standard that is going to make the rest of this nation proud.
Also in attendance on our old stomping grounds, Olympian and Golden Girl Debbie Ferguson McKenzie sharing that the energy is electric.
Kudos to everybody who is a part of this committee, all the officials, all the coaches, and all the parents, all the schools involved. Thank you to the Ministry of Education. I saw the minister earlier, and anyway, the energy here this morning has been phenomenal. It reminded me a little bit of what boys and girls champs are like in Jamaica. And so we definitely got to keep building on this momentum so we keep bringing it to the next level.
And just into the news desk, the final point standings for Day 2 and juniors. These, we understand, are the final scores. In third place would be the S.C. McPherson Sharks with 498. In second would be the H.O. Nash Lions with 535 points. And taking the junior division at this year's GSSA Championships would be the C.A. Drews Raptors with 720 points. Over to the seniors in third place, R.M. Bailey with 216. In second place, the C.B. Bethel Stingrays with 224 points. And leading after Day 2 will be the C.R. Walker Knights with 305 points. The final day for seniors will take place tomorrow at the Old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Highlights and the final standings from Day 3 in tomorrow's Sportscast. And we finally have a time and date for perhaps the biggest local junior track and field competition of the year. The B3A is holding a press conference yesterday for the announcement of the Carifta Trials that will take place March 20th through the 22nd at the original Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. The meet traditionally delivers some exceptional performances, and this year is expected to be no different. This year's trials will be held over 3 days at the stadium, mirroring the actual competitive schedule of the Carifta Games itself.
In 2025, the Carifta Games, which was held in Port of Spain, Trinidad, we delivered one of the best performances we've ever done in the history of our sport, spanning back to some 41 years. And so today we gather for the Carifta Trials announcement, and we stand on a great deal of momentum. We're not just satisfied that we have achieved higher standards last year. We are prepared to do even better this time around. Last year was epic for the Bahamas in track and field. But if it resonates with the Bahamian people, let me say it very clearly. We ain't no fluke.
Still on track, this time over in the Family Islands. Great progress being made on the island of Eleuthera as they gear up to host their regional track and field competition. This as the Bahamas Striping group of companies assisting with the refurbishment of the 400-meter track at the Preston Albury High School. Coach Kennard Mackey tells us more.
We're very much excited. I have coaches from all of the other Family Islands calling me in awe about having this track right here and wishing for their islands to have the same tracks on the other Family Islands. The good news is I've been promised, and they've already made the commitment that starting on the 14th, the day after regionals, that the rubber is going to be put down on this track. So we're going to get our world-class track here starting on the end of next week.
And to the Diamond, Bahamians in action for Great Britain as they tune up just ahead of the World Baseball Classic, taking on the San Diego Padres yesterday in Arizona. Top of the first 2-2 count, B.J. Murray would take this pitch deep into right field to get on base with the single. Murray would continue his hot bat, getting on base with another single in the top of the third. Fast forward to the top of the 8th inning. Josh Chisholm at the plate with a 3-2 count would take this down and then fastball deep down the right field line for the home run to put Great Britain up 2-1. The Padres would tack on a run at the end of the 8th, and this one would end in a 2-2 draw. Look at some of the stats from the other Bahamians in action. Trace Thompson started in right field and had a double in 4 at-bats. Christian Robinson, who came on as a defensive replacement in the bottom of the 7th inning, didn't register an at-bat. And Ian Lewis, who started at shortstop, went hitless in 3 at-bats. Chavez Fernander also came in for relief, giving up a hit, a walk, and an earned run in 1 inning of work. And the 2026 World Baseball Classic gets underway today, but as mentioned, Great Britain will play its first game on Friday, taking on Mexico, the same team which essentially knocked them out of the last World Baseball Classic in 2023. And that's been a look at your sports on this Thursday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Why should I be framed? I am never the same, but I am always myself. Paradox, the new refillable parfum by Prada.
Available at Lorix Duty Free, Bay and Parliament, Old Fort Bay, Marathon Mall and Palmdale.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, Shop Smart, that's Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Looking to save this March? Look no further. Shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Seabass tuna, 5 ounces, 84 cents. Green cabbage, 99 cents per pound. Rice then parboiled rice, 5 pounds, 3.89. Hellmann's mayonnaise, 30 ounces, 7.59. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 1.15 per pound. Turn shopping madness into saving gladness when you shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
At We Buy and Sell, we help you upgrade your home the smart way, from solar panels and solar lights to strong doors, storm-ready windows, tiles, mirrors, vanity, faucets, and more. Everything you need is right here under one roof. Great quality products, great price, and fast, friendly service every day. Visit us on Robinson Road or send us a message on WhatsApp 242-636-8412 or shop anytime at wbusbahamas.com. We Buy You Sell. Upgrade your home today.
You're looking at a bird's eye view of downtown Nassau, and it's time for some Family Island news. Let's take a trip.
The road improvement project in Central and South Eleuthera is already paving the way for new economic possibilities. As work continues, the business community is eagerly anticipating a surge in both investors and domestic tourists. Eleuthera Chamber of Commerce President Thomas Sands says while the economy is ripe, the housing market needs further development in order to attract more investors. He's inviting Eleutherians to maximize these new opportunities. Now, of course, when I saw this earlier, I thought it was AI. But you want to check out this cool photo circulating on Facebook. Linesmen from the Bahamas, St. Lucia, and Jamaica pause for a moment of true brotherhood and show off their physical strength as crews continue to work together, rebuilding Jamaica's power network following Hurricane Melissa.
Yes, high above the ground, Caribbean unity on full display. Be sure to send us your funny, inspiring, and cool moments. Email btaccessnow@gmail.com, and you could be featured next.
That's going to do it for Access Now for tonight. Stay tuned for the rundown with Howard Grant. Ahmad in that case.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I don't know, but there's all kinds of cars in the parking lot, but you ain't even know where to park. Yeah, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park, just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap spot. No, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way park here,
I tell you we shouldn't park here.
Don't get one of these things. My bad big broke, and he got a sticker inside to say this mud though. We gotta move. This is handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't we can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
The Cabinet Office wishes to advise the general public that daylight savings time will commence on Sunday, the 8th of March at 2 a.m. and will continue until 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 1st of November, 2026.
In a time when leadership matters, when policies and priorities shape our communities, and when the Bahamas deserves clarity, not confusion, there's one place for real understanding. The Rundown, where Bahamian politics meets real life, where policies are examined and accountability is demanded, from Parliament to the people, from Nassau to the Family Islands. No noise, no spin, just facts, context, and honest conversation. Join me me, Howard Grant, for The Rundown. Weekdays right here on ZNS Bahamas, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Starting Monday, February 2nd.
What's trending in business? Who's making major money moves? And how's it shaping your future? This is Economics, your front row seat to the biggest stories in business, innovation, and finance. Powered by the Sand Dollar, the digital currency of the Central Bank of the Bahamas. It's fast, secure, Bahamian. We're breaking down the numbers, the news, and what it means to you. Tune in every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the trends, the insights, and the stories that matter. Get informed, get inspired, get in the mix with Economics.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is gonna be great. This is your day of victory.
Learn how to take small things, brothers and sisters, and manage it until your promotion. You gotta learn how to manage your struggle. You gotta learn how to manage your disappointment. You gotta learn how to manage your frustration. Are you hearing me in the Holy Ghost? You gotta learn how to contain some stuff. You gotta manage your tongue.
Watch us this and every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, leaders from all generations, good evening and welcome to the Rundown on Leadership. This is a space where leadership is not performed, it is interrogated. Where systems are not protected, they are examined. Where growth is not assumed, it is demanded. I'm your host, Amar Deshaun Thompson, and I'm so excited to be with you tonight. I would like to take this opportunity, as we do every week, to express my sincere appreciation for your continued engagement. I'm grateful that you continue to choose depth over noise and insight over impulse. Your engagement matters because this program was created for serious leaders. Leaders who understand that responsibility is not seasonal. It is structural, and we know that you could be anywhere on a Thursday evening, but week after week you choose to run it down with us, and we are indeed grateful. Now, before we go further tonight, I want to reframe something for you. Most leaders say they want growth. They say they want innovation. They say they want transformation. But very few leaders truly want transition, because transition is uncomfortable. Transition disrupts competence, it exposes culture, it tests alignment, and it magnifies leadership gaps. And it reinforces reinvention, not eventually, but immediately. You see, stability hides weaknesses, but transition reveals them. Anyone can manage continuity, but only disciplined leaders can steward change without losing credibility in the wayside. And here's the tension. When systems change, people feel it. When processes evolve, culture reacts. When innovation accelerates, resistance surfaces. So the question becomes, how do you lead when your organization is mid-transition? How do you protect trust while modernizing infrastructure? How do you evolve without destabilizing? And what version of you shows up when your leadership is being tested in real time? Now, as we enter the month of March, a month where the world pauses to recognize International Women's Day, we are reminded that leadership continues to expand in representation, visibility, and influence. But tonight is not about symbolic celebration. It is about substance. It is about what it takes to carry responsibility at scale, especially in seasons of organizational change. Tonight's episode is titled Leadership in Transition, Navigating Change, Culture, and Innovation. And here to run it down with us tonight is Ms. Rexy Roll. She's the president and CEO of Western Air. She is a leader guiding a legacy organization through significant operational transformation in one of the most demanding industries in the world. This conversation is not about titles, it's not about executive decision-making under pressure. It's about culture during disruption. It is about innovation that does not fracture trust. And it is about leading people, not just processes, through change. Whether you lead a team of 5, an organization of 500, or you are preparing for your next level of responsibility, you will encounter transition. And when you do, charisma will not sustain you. Clarity, structure, emotional intelligence, and strategic discipline will. So tonight, I challenge you to lean in. Tag a leader, share this broadcast, invite someone into the conversation, because we are not here to observe leadership. We are here to refine it. This is the Rundown on Leadership, ladies and gentlemen, and your breakthrough is right after this break. Stay close.
The Public Hospitals Authority wishes to ensure that you and your family are safe and prepared during the hurricane season. There are a few simple rules to follow that will help you to better manage your health during a storm. Ensure you have a 2-week supply of any medications you are taking. Ensure you have a first aid kit. Ensure you make contact with your healthcare provider to reschedule any appointments or procedures that may have been scheduled ahead of the storm. The public is reminded that ambulance services are only provided to service medical emergencies. The National Emergency Medical Services advises the public that once winds exceed 50 miles per hour, ambulance services are discontinued until the all clear is given.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us tonight, my guest is Ms. Rexy Roll. She's the president and CEO of Western Air, one of the largest privately owned airlines in the Caribbean. Rexy is also an aviation and corporate attorney, and in that capacity, Rexy also provides oversight over Western Air's legal and regulatory affairs, representing the airline in aviation, government, and commercial matters. Rexy, welcome to the show. It's a great pleasure to have you with us tonight.
I am happy to be here.
Indeed.
Long time coming, but we're here.
We've been trying to get you here for a while. But we're finally going to run it down tonight. And I think it's very timely as we celebrate Women's International Day and Month, as we celebrate Women in Aviation Week. It's important to have this representation, I believe, on this platform to help anyone in leadership understand what it takes. And beyond those token moments of celebration, we also want to focus tonight on what it means to really lead through transition.
Right.
So Rexy, many people underestimate and over-glamorize leadership. If you survey your journey thus far, how would you define leadership, and did that definition evolve over time for you?
Definitely. I think for me, leadership is about service and it's about stewardship. And so I think when people think about leadership, they automatically think you get to boss people around. And it's really the other way around. It's really, you become a servant to, in my case, the passengers, the customers that you want to make happy, and of course, to your team. So it's really about sort of hearing upward rather than downward.
That's good. Hearing upward rather than downward.
Yeah.
So many leaders mismanage that perspective, though. They believe because they've arrived at the place of this pinnacle role in leadership that they must talk downward and hear downward only. They can't hear upward. Why do you think that perspective is important to maintain at this level of leadership, hearing upward? Why is that important?
Yeah, because I mean, when you're in a service-based field, you realize that ultimately it's the people that you have to satisfy. And so who has the closest attachment to the people? Your people. And so it helps to sort of understand their thinking and their way of doing. We have a open door policy, or I have an open door policy that I can speak with anyone from any department, whether they've been there with us for 20 years or for 2 months. If you have a great idea, I want to hear it.
Wow.
And so that really helps open the door and conversation for a lot of discourse. And to be honest, it's beneficial for the organization because now I take those ideas and we take the feedback and we're always pushing to improve thereafter.
Indeed. If you have a good idea, I want to hear it. We're going to come back to that point a little bit later on in the show. But when you became CEO, it meant that you joined the ranks as one of the few female airline CEOs globally. When that reality first settled in, Rexy, what did it mean to you personally and professionally?
Yeah, it was certainly a big moment. You know, obviously this is a family organization and the family aspect of it is an important part of our history. But I also feel that there's so much beyond that at this point because we have such a commitment to the public that we have made. And I think at that moment, it was, because ironically, that same week when Western Air announced that, Japan Airlines had also, you know, named their first president, woman president. JetBlue had just named their first woman CEO. So I felt like I was in good company. And
Maybe they were in good company first.
Yeah, but I also recognize that, you know, it's not just about what we're doing here. There's a shift that's happening and people recognizing that women are just as capable when it comes to leadership roles in aviation.
As we talk about that, I want to ask you directly, do you believe, Rexy, that your experience in leadership is different as a woman? Have you had to navigate things that a man normally would not in this space?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, women leaders are sort of more scrutinized. There's a lot of tone policing. How she said that, I didn't like how she said that, or perhaps they're, you know, policing what you wear or how you act or how you present yourself. And I think that has a lot more to do with being a woman. I embrace that though. I'm very firm in being authentic to who I am. I'm gonna dance on social media. That's not gonna stop. You know, but also it definitely allows for a different experience than perhaps my male counterparts.
I want to explore that a bit more. I think we've been conditioned to be seen and not heard. Right, to speak when we're spoken to, that's both male and female. But specifically for the female gender, the women in our lives have been taught to only be strong when they had to. Right? Versus being strong and a strong representation of the gender in any facet you find yourself in. How have you been able to navigate not losing Rexy as you emerge as CEO and even transition in leadership as you were coming up?
You know, I think I've been validated by the people that matter the most to me in terms of my parents, my grandparents. They have really instilled in me to be true to who I am and be firm in whatever it is my conviction is at that moment. So I am grateful to have a very small support system that still reminds me that it is okay to be yourself. And so in my mind, I've been programmed that I'm rewarded when I am myself. And so, and also, you know, being visible, I connected with a lot of other individuals who like, oh, I'm an engineer, but I also love fashion and I'm starting a new clothing line and I'm doing all these things. And I realized that, you know, women especially, we are so multi-dimensional. And so why are we just showing one side of it? It actually helps in business to be sort of an open book
Yes.
and show these various factors of who you are.
As you were coming up, Rexy, as you were moving from, ascending from leadership role to leadership role, your transition from vice president to CEO, what was that like for you? Did you always have your eyes set on CEO for the company? Did you always envision that being your ultimate space in the organization? What was that transition for you as you moved into that role?
Yeah, not at all. To be honest, not at all. I think I was quite comfortable being VP of operations.
Wow.
I was content in that. And I had felt that I, had taken on quite a bit of the CEO role from earlier on. But I think once that change happened, something surprising happened in terms of I realized, oh, there's no safety net.
Wow.
I think I had enjoyed the concept of there was an appeal process, that I wasn't, the buck didn't stop with me.
Right.
And I would say, well, you'd have to talk to him. Now, I don't really have that luxury of doing that. The buck really does stop here. And so I felt the heaviness of that very, very quickly.
Yeah. When do you realize that, wait a minute, the buck does stop with me? How do you navigate that space, Rexy? Because I think that's an opportunity we can never really be trained for or prepared for.
Yeah.
When you really realize, wait a minute, there's nobody else to say this belongs to him or her.
Yeah.
When it really does stop with you, what is the weight of that? How do you navigate that weight?
Yeah. I stay really focused on getting the work done. And that might be a bit cliche, but I've always felt that you can't be too focused, for example, on recognition or accolades. Focus on what you're actually producing. What is the service that you're producing? And those other things and everything will work itself out once you have a focus. And so I sort of come out every once in a while and do my little thing, but beyond that, those that know me know that I'm like in it and I'm constantly
getting it done.
Getting it done. I have a very strong work ethic, and that has helped me a lot.
Got it. Leading an organization of this size, Rexy, is no joke. And I think people sometimes, again, underestimate what it takes to lead at this level. But you're leading your organization through one of the most demanding changes it's ever seen in a most demanding industry. What's one leadership lesson that you've learned at this level that you've been taught this season as you transition at this point?
Yeah, I would say the lesson has just been consistently reinforced, which is that you have to be adaptable. We have experienced a lot of growth, I would say, in the past few years. And with that comes a lot of additional things that you have to do to grow along with that. And so being able to be flexible, being able to listen and sort of process feedback, healthy feedback, it has been just sort of a reinforced lesson, if you will. It's not necessarily something new. I always know in the travel industry you have to be aware of market trends and be flexible, but it was just reinforced that, particularly now.
What has been something you've had to unlearn as you became CEO of this company?
Yeah. I think I used to take a lot of pride in being extremely hands-on. Plot twist, I still am. Still am very, very hands-on, but I had to unlearn the idea that I should do it all. I think you really have to spend time in training and developing quality people to know and allow them to do their thing and be good at what they're doing. And so that's also more so in the phase where we're going into, where we're really developing a lot of good talent in our organization.
Yes. You talked about three things that stood out to me so far in our time together. You said, if you have a good idea, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
You mentioned listening upward, hearing from the people that you serve as their leader, and then developing quality talent.
Yeah.
There's a difference between talent and quality talent, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
What have you found to be, why have you found that that's important to lean into, to listen, to receive those good ideas and that feedback, and also, how do you separate all feedback from good feedback? Because all feedback isn't necessarily going to help you to get better, right?
Right. I think I've I've gotten pretty good at recognizing the intent of the feedback. Sometimes you know when someone, genuinely cares about the organization or the operational flow and they just want to see it better, whether that's a passenger feedback or whether that's internal. And so once I sort of sniff out what the intent is, I'm more open to understanding and hearing, what exactly they're saying. And so once I look more into that, I've just seen it work in terms of when you do get suggestions from people in various parts of the organization, sometimes it really works.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm a big picture person, meaning I'm looking at the overall operations. So I may not be as close to the ground or as close to any particular department and know the ins and outs of how they're doing certain things. So if they have determined and suggested something, I'm definitely going to hear it out, and I've seen it work. Yeah.
Good. When you think of 13-year-old Rexy, right? Is there a difference in who you are now? Obviously there is a difference, but in terms of your character, your morals, your values, the things that shape how you view this role as leadership, what has shaped that journey from 13-year-old Rexy to now? What has really determined how you show up as a leader in this world today?
I was telling my mom on my way here, I believe I was around 13 years old. This was the last time I was in this building.
Wow.
And I came to ZNS to pitch a show.
Wow.
About like teen music or something like that I was doing. And it was sort of a surreal moment coming back here.
Wow.
But in the capacity that I am. So I say that to say I've always been ambitious. I've always felt like there's a lot more in this life for me to do, and that hasn't changed. What I do now know is that from 13-year-old Rexy who thought, maybe I would be the fifth member of Destiny's Child, to now this person, I'm so much more focused on others than I am myself. And I love that for me.
That is, I love that for you too. That is so good. I love that for leadership. I am so much more focused on those that I get to serve versus me, myself. And I think if more leaders could adopt that mindset, if more leaders could figure out, it's not about me, it's about the people I get the privilege and honor to serve, this world would be a vastly different place.
Yeah.
As we move to break, Rexy, I want to ask you a question. Is leadership at this level lonely?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Talk about that.
I couldn't say it fast enough. Absolutely. It is. It's isolating. But it's not a complaint, it's just a reality.
Yeah.
There's not many people that understand all the dynamics that come into play with this sort of life. And so, I thank God I have a very strong prayer life.
Yes.
And a strong mental health. So we're good.
Indeed, indeed. As you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, our conversation is just getting started. We are going to go even higher when we return. We're going to talk about innovation, transformation, and change management. What does it look like what does it take to drive innovation and transformation in a legacy organization? Does it take a toll on the leader? Stay with us to find out, because your breakthrough continues after this break. Stay close.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly, and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible, so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the fire department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, my guest tonight is Rexy Roll. Rexy serves as the president and CEO of Western Air, and tonight we are talking about leadership in transition. Now, Rexy, Western Air is at a pivotal point and moment in its evolution. What was the strategic purpose behind migration from one system to another, and how do you balance preserving the legacy without really destabilizing what's been in place for so long?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, scaling an organization like Western Air or like any airline can be very complex because you want to hold on to the things that people love about the organization while at the same time recognizing that because of the growth, you have to do things slightly different. I don't know, you know, people generally recognize that Western Air carries a lot of traffic, over 350,000 passengers a year. And so we service 10 destinations, and we're consistently growing. And so for us, the system that we were in served its purpose, but it was clear that we had reached our limits as to where we could go. And so we know that we needed to be in or have a system provider that we can actually grow with, and that could be globally recognized and give us an ability to connect with other carriers, connect with other organizations, and also just do things a bit differently and more standard, more global airline standards. And so we went to sort of from a normal booking system, which was very simple, our team loved it, to something that is more complex, but it is more aligned to global airline standards. And so as a result, we had to move to that type of structure. Yeah.
When you think of the decision-making process, right, when you are at the point of realization that we have to evolve, we have to grow if we want to remain sustainable and lead the charge in this industry, there comes a moment when you have to sit with yourself and the options that are in front of you and say, you know what, this is the best one. And then beyond making the decision, it's communicating the decision. What has that process been like for Rexy and your leadership team? What has it been like to say, here's what we have in front of us, here's what we feel is the best thing to do, and here's how we're going to communicate that to our teams now who have been in the system for a long time?
Yeah, I mean, I like to do things in phased approach. So nothing was sort of brought up and a surprise to anyone. We had been looking and demoing so many different systems over the past year and a half. And so this wasn't a decision that was taken lightly. Any sort of, if you've gone through any type of system change, you know it's gonna drag you.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's what it did. But we survived, and now I truly believe we're going to continue to thrive in that system. Anything that is new can be a bit scary, but what we did was we took the time and worked with each department. We started with our managers, and we had different training sessions and sort of navigated throughout. But even all of that preparation, nothing is like the day of.
It was live.
And I remember when we switched over, I was actually at the ticket counter. And I don't think I left the ticket counter for a week.
Wow.
Because we just wanted to ensure that things, you know, went properly. And nothing prepares you for a real system change. But, you know, it was my first one, and I've spoken to other people in other airlines around the world, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. We've done it. We know what it's like. You'll be fine. So we will be fine.
Now, that point about being on the counter for about a week, that can be seen in so many different ways, right? I want to understand it from your lens. How did you see, why was it important that as you led that charge, you were also in that charge? Why was that important for you?
I had to have my team's back, and that's what I felt. If they were unsure about something, I wanted to be there to know that they were now clear on it. And so I didn't want someone, you know, telling me what they said and this and that. No, I wanted to be there. I wanted to see and feel how the system was going to work. And, you know, initially there was quite a bit of hiccups. And so all of those things had to be worked out. And we had, you know, representatives from the provider there with us for a few weeks. And we were, I was arguing with them. And I was telling them, this has to be fixed.
Right, right.
This needs to change. Our customers are used to this. I was advocating, not just for our, you know, our customers, but also our team. Like, we want this to be, you know, more efficient. And so we realized that with any new system, you have to customize it for you. And so that's an ongoing process. And now I would hope that they see and feel that it's much smoother.
Yes. So earlier you talked about the fact that if there's a good idea, you want to hear it.
Yeah.
You want to listen upward. Beyond technology, Rexy, how do you cultivate a culture where that good idea is welcomed, heard, and potentially enacted or activated? How do you cultivate a space where people feel empowered to challenge things that are maybe foreign or may feel foreign? How do you make that the reality in Western Ave versus just a thought or a concept that we've explored on paper?
So that open door policy, I live that, breathe that. And so as I walk through the different stations, I ask. I ask questions, I talk. You know, I also find out how everybody's family's doing, or how what's up with some secondary business they got going on. But also at the same time, I would say, actually, for example, one of the ground support asks, oh, I saw we're going cashless. We are going cashless March 31st. And so I was like, yeah, what do you think about that? And so we had a full conversation about his thoughts on it. Now, that's not his department. He doesn't, he's not out on the front counter, but it was insightful to see how he looked at it. And so that's really how we create that culture of allowing people to feel comfortable to speak up. I do want to hear their opinions.
Absolutely. What do you think is the biggest barrier, Rexy, to innovation inside organizations? What is the, you know you have to innovate, there's a problem you want to solve. What is the biggest barrier between getting the problem solved and identifying the problem?
I would say the biggest barrier would probably be the resistance to change. You know, again, we have, you know, a wide variety of people in our organization, some of which who have been there, you know, longer than even I've really been involved. And so pushing back a bit on them being maybe uncomfortable with the idea of change can be sometimes a barrier. And so what it does allow you to see is that, you know, that some people welcome it and open to it, and they tend to thrive in new challenges, and others take a bit longer to evolve to it.
Indeed. At this level, Rexy, speed matters. You got to be quick, you got to be prompt, you got to be on it. But wisdom also matters as well. How do you personally balance the need to act quickly, but to act responsibility and wisely as well?
Well, while you want to make a wise decision, everything is time sensitive in the airline space, because sometimes a decision is no longer wise if you took long. So
wait a minute. Hold on. You gotta write that down. Sometimes a decision is no longer wise if you took too long to make it. That is a word, Rexy.
You know, sometimes, you know, we're talking to...
Hold on, that's good, that is good, that is good.
Good.
I don't want to interrupt your train of thought, but that is good. Sometimes it becomes unwise if you took too long to make it. Wow.
I mean, you know, I always think back to my conversations, and every day I talk to dispatch and sort of know where the aircrafts are going. You know, are we on time? Are we not on time? What's going on? And so, you know, lots of decisions will come up, lots of small decisions. And if it is something that is escalated to my point, the time in which it takes for us to make that decision is everything.
Everything.
Because whether you're going to send that aircraft out to Congo Town or out to Exuma matters how long you take to make that decision. If you're going to change out the crew, do it now. You know, we can't wait an hour later and then, because we're having discussion and arguments back and forth. So timeliness is, you know, is key in every aspect of this.
I believe that organizations today are facing one of the most dangerous conundrums in the history of time. It's indecision. Indecision keeps so many organizations stagnant and stuck. It keeps them unprofitable. It keeps leaders ineffective and inefficient. And when you take too long to make a wise decision, it becomes unwise. That is a word. I want you to write that down. Put that on your WhatsApp status. Put that in, open your meeting in the morning with that message, because indecision really, Rexy, is a point of, it means that you're not fully clear on where you want to go.
Right.
If there's a vision, if there's a focus, you understand anything in the way of that is the wrong decision.
Absolutely.
Right? And when you can be clear on where it is you want to go, what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve it, who you want to achieve it with, the point between A and B, the decision that needs to be made and what needs to be done, is shorter. And if it is that organizations don't understand or be able to communicate what's at stake, if that decision is made in too long a time, in too short a time even, because that's also too hasty. You can make the wrong decision and moving too fast. What has been your experience, Rexy, in terms of what have you learned about the culture and your team and its strengths or gaps as you make this transition, as you move from one system to the other, as you transition from VP to CEO, as leadership mindset and viewpoints change, as styles emerge, as personalities differ, what have you learned about the culture and the spirit of Western and your team members over this time?
Yeah, I mean, I have a deep admiration and respect for my team. Obviously, I'm biased, but I do. And I you know, we may be a chaotic bunch, but I love the fact that they are so diverse. And when I mean diverse, I don't just mean, you know, nationality, but I'm also speaking about their personalities and their levels of experience and where they came from. I think our team shows that it has the type of resilience and perseverance and heart. Everyone that I work with closely genuinely cares about the passenger experience. Whether or not that's conveyed, that's what we have to continuously improve, ensuring that people know. But I know that for a fact. Nobody likes delays.
Absolutely.
Nobody likes, you know, when people don't get what they paid for. Like, in fact, I actually don't want your money if you didn't get what you paid for. I'll be so quick to refund if you did not get what you paid for. However, I love the fact that our team has the heart and has the desire to provide that quality of experience. Now it's up to us to actually ensure that people know that and that we do our best. You know, not every day is going to be perfect, but we're all committed. And so I have a lot of respect for our team. I know there's a lot of growth that we need and a lot of things we need to improve upon, especially as we move towards a more global airline industry standards. We've sort of been walking to our own beat. So now we sort of have to continue to do that, but in a more, I guess, refined way.
Understood. As we transition into the customer experience now, Rexy, right? Because leadership in an organization, especially in an organization like yours, is moving beyond the walls of the organization. It's moving now into the way people are made to feel as they embrace and engage Western Air. Customers feel transitions immediately. They see it, they feel it, they talk about it, they frustrate about it, they are all the things about it. How have you been able to balance transparency while maintaining confidence in the brand, right, as you navigate this transition systematically?
I think they taught you in grade school, honesty is the best policy. It really is. I mean, and that's what I stress to my team, that please update, let them know what's going on, be transparent, because I found that customers are great once they know what's happening. So why are we not telling them what's happening? Just tell them what's happening. You know, if for some reason, you know, crew, you know, got sick or isn't able to come in or came in late, we have to be transparent. Obviously, you want, like you said, to maintain the confidence of the brand, and I think our consistency will maintain the confidence of the brand. We are dedicated and we are reliable every day. We do this 365 days out of the year, unless there's a hurricane, you know, God forbid. But I say, you know, say all that to say, we know that transparency actually helps. It helps with the customers having more grace with what whatever it is your challenge may be that day, whether that's weather, whether that's mechanical, whatever that may be. But it certainly actually helps, so why not provide it?
Absolutely. Now, you're leading a multifaceted team, Rexy. You are the multi-talented, multi-generational, and it includes pilots, engineers, ground staff, and customer service teams, each impacted differently by these system changes. How do you effectively lead such diverse groups?
Yeah. I think it goes back to seeing the bigger picture, because I know that because they are in the thick of it every day and just focused on getting those flights out safely on time, getting people in their bags to where they need to be, that they may not see all the accomplishments that they have completed that day. And so I see it. On a grand scale, I see the overall volume of passengers that they're moving, the consistency, almost over 10,900 flights just last year.
Wow.
They wouldn't notice that because you're just, trotting along. But each one of those groups, each one of those departments plays such a important, critical part to this organization. And so for me, managing that group is constantly reminding them of the bigger picture, why we do what we do, and making sure that we stay focused on the service that we're providing.
Absolutely. Leaders, this lesson in leadership in transition is truly a masterclass. When we come back, we're going to go even higher into something leaders rarely discuss publicly. That is there a difference between leadership as a woman and leadership as a man? Stay with us as your breakthrough continues after this break. Stay close.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved from banking into an untapped industry, which is manufacturing in the Bahamas. And now we are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has 2 arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. It's never been done before. It really makes a difference, not only in the Bahamas, but even around the world. This is not just a project that we're doing so that we can make a couple of dollars. We want to make sure that it benefits those who come after us. In future generations, we hope that this is a small vision, that they will take it and they'll expand on it. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas, in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
Oh, you're still here?
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
Where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, you are very, very late. But we welcome you nonetheless. My guest tonight is Ms. Rexy Roll, and Rexy serves as the president and CEO of Western Air. Tonight, we're talking about what it means to lead through transition. And in this final segment, I really want to talk about Rexy the person and how that's been affecting your role as leader and how your role as leader has been affecting Rexy the person, right? I believe we've been raised to dehumanize leadership. You can't be who you are and be a leader. And you talked earlier about still dancing online and still doing your thing and still being a diva and a fashionista, all of these things. Why is it important for you in your journey as leader and in leadership to hold on to who Rexy is at her core?
Because I need that balance. It's so important for me to feel like I am exploring multiple facets of my life. And that actually helps me focus. If I am just too rigid on one side, it actually causes me to lose a bit of focus. And so when I'd like to feel that I am being expressive, in whichever direction. Maybe that's music, maybe that's dance, maybe that's just talking fluff talk with, the people that I love. But that is a part of the whole character and what also helps me to be a quality leader. Walking through our terminal, a lot of the conversations that I have with my team isn't always work related. Sometimes it's just about life, because we're all a lot more alike than we are different.
Come on, that is so true.
I love connecting in that way because I love to hear people's stories and love to share my own.
Yes.
So it really provides a more holistic approach to leadership.
In your journey, Rexy, what has been the hardest piece of feedback you've received so far?
Pertaining to the operations?
You can take it both ways, operation, but also Rexy the person.
Okay, Rexy the person. I have heard in the past, and I don't know if I believe it, that, you can be a bit transactional. And I didn't like that. Because I feel like I could be. And especially in a boardroom setting, in negotiations, I'm straight to the point.
Okay.
However, when it comes to my personal life, I don't like to feel like I'm so transactional. I would hope that I, make people feel that I actually care and it's not just so one way with me. And so I didn't like that comment, but, that was their opinion.
Yeah, and I think it's a part of leadership as well. Sometimes you will hear feedback that does not necessarily sit well, that you don't necessarily agree with, but it doesn't devalue or invalidate that person's experience.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I think as leaders, we have to be mindful that just because you don't see it that way doesn't mean it's not been seen that way before.
100%. And that could have been their experience with me in that moment. So I fully accept that. And it does help you, be more conscious about your interactions with people, because you can have a lot of love and admiration, and maybe that does not translate to how they receive that, right? So,
Indeed. When you look back on the journey thus far, you have accomplished a lot, you've seen a lot, you've done a lot. What has been the most rewarding part of your journey to date?
Western Air celebrates 25 years of service this year.
Wow.
We got to do it big.
Yes.
God willing.
Yes.
But we celebrate 25 years, and it's not lost on me that though I don't know where the time has gone, but being able to be consistent in something and being consistently good doesn't mean that you have perfect days every day, but showing up every day is what's important. That to me is the most rewarding aspect of this, that we are a part of people's lives, even if it's just in a small faction. People have a choice, and for each time they choose us, I'm grateful.
Yes.
And, when they use us, we always have to remember, and I tell my team this, when someone flies with us, they are going to do something. They're going to connect with family, they're going to work, they're going to court, they're going to a hospital, they're going to a wedding, to a funeral. So they have decided to invite you into their world for a very brief moment for that service. And I never take that for granted. I never take that for granted. And so, it just motivates us to continue to do better and be better.
Yes. If you are listening with your spiritual air, if you're listening with your evolved air, you have heard the way to lead in any room. You have just heard that one answer separates bad leaders from good leaders. Somebody's invited you in to their life as their leader. And yes, they have a bill to pay, they have a mortgage to pay, they have obligations to meet. But when employees show up to your organization every day willing to give themselves to your cause, to support your vision, they've invited you into the journey that they are walking in every day. And when you underestimate what that is, when you consider it as just an employee number or just a passenger seat or just some ticket you've sold, you diminish the chance you get to make somebody else's lives better.
Yeah.
You underestimate the privilege it is to be called leader. And when you think about it as minute as that, as granularly as that somebody is coming to your organization to get somewhere else, to do something different, to experience something different, and by the way, they're going to be served by someone that's also serving you, that you're also serving. If we all considered the role we play on a daily basis as somebody inviting us in to their lives for but a moment, I believe this world would be a much better place. And so many leaders would be better positioned to lead well, to lead better.
Yeah.
You have, I believe, Rexy, done something that some leaders are afraid to do. They're afraid to embrace humanity. They're afraid to embrace mistakes and failures. They're afraid to understand or to put themselves out there as someone who may not have it all together, but still looking for the best in people around them and the best of circumstances around them. How do you encourage leaders who are having a hard time leading as a young person, leading as a female, leading as an island national, leading in a global field, a global industry where other people who may look at you, because there may be other females who may say, she's not female enough, she's not exposed, like she's been in the, like all of these things that come away in the way of leadership, Rexy. How do you navigate that space, all the things that are on you every day as the leader and still do it well?
Try not to focus so much on the identity aspect, because when you're focused on the identity, like, oh, I'm so young, they'll never believe what I'm gonna say, they're never gonna just trust what I'm gonna say. If you're focused on those identity aspects only, then it means that that's less focus on the work itself. Once you start to show your colleagues, you know, the other employees in your organization that you are capable of making sound decisions, that you have quality intent and good intent for the organization, and you overall know your work, the results and the reward of it all will show and will speak for itself. And I think sometimes going into a role, you can be so fixated on how are they going to look at me? How are they going to look at me? Take yourself out of the equation and focus on the work itself, enjoy it, get so familiar with it that they're coming to you to ask certain questions because they know you know it.
Yes,
and
yes,
so
yes, yes.
that builds trust. Sound decisions builds trust. I started off in you know, coming in with working with a lot of men who were twice my age, and the reality is family or not, what value are you bringing to this organization?
Come on.
Because that didn't matter. What value are you bringing to this organization? And I truly believe that trust was built over time because they saw and recognized my passion, but also my ability to make sound decisions in the moment.
Indeed.
And so we collectively would work together on a variety of things, and the work eventually spoke for itself.
What value are you bringing to the organization, to this decision, to this moment, to this assignment, to this task? What value are you bringing every day? It's a question that you should be asking yourself every time you walk into your organization, every time you take on a new responsibility. What value do you bring to it? I believe heavily, Rexy, in personal responsibility and personal accountability. Wherever you are in life is exactly where you choose to be.
Yeah.
You can fight me, you can at me, you can do all this stuff to me, but I truly believe that you are the master of your fate. You were sent here to cause something to be better. You were sent to take dominion of the entire earth. But so many people, and especially in leadership roles, diminish their ability and capability because of what they walk into. Because they walk into a space where everybody's twice my age, where everybody is male, where everybody is this and everybody is that. But when you survey your value, when you survey your integrity, when you make sound decisions, when you don't waste time and lollygag and do what's called Dougie McGrammy would say, when people can see that you put your money where your mouth is, things eventually change. We talked about it briefly earlier, Rexy, but do you think, what is more dangerous? Do you think there's hesitation or haste?
I mean, both are dangerous, but I would certainly say hesitation, and it speaks to what we spoke about earlier, in that time sensitivity is real in when it comes to decisions, and especially in my industry, time is everything. And so, as we say, you know, time is money. So for me, hesitation could be a bit more dangerous.
What do you think women, young women specifically, you know what, anyone in general, what do you think people misunderstand the most about executive leadership?
I think that there's a tendency to believe that leadership is about yourself, and it always goes back to who you're leading. You ultimately are here for service and to be a servant. On a spiritual side, I know that God sent me here to be a good steward and to be a servant to those people that I serve. And so I think while leadership can appear glamorous, trust and know there's a lot of heaviness in the responsibility. And so you have to be willing to not be able to turn off your phone, not put it on Do Not Disturb. That's not a thing for me. And so if you're going to look at the glamorous side of it, also look at the heaviness and the responsibility that comes with that. Managing your finances, managing personalities, and managing, you know, ensuring that you are running a safe operations across the board. There's a lot of weight that comes along with that. Yeah.
If you could challenge organizations watching tonight to examine one unconscious bias about female leadership, what would that be?
Probably the unconscious bias that women are overly emotional. One who said that, first of all, my mom loves to say emotions run the world.
Come on.
So even in business, people go to war on emotions.
Come on, now, in this world today.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's actually very beneficial to have someone that understands emotions, that has emotional intelligence. And even when you are quote unquote emotional, it doesn't stop you from being logical. And so I find that I've experienced issues in business and dealing with different agencies where I was trying to get something resolved, and then suddenly there's a woman leader, and we're able to talk about it, and she's at least willing to hear what I'm saying. And so obviously it depends on the personality and whatnot, but I will just say that in general we have to be more open to the idea that women are just as capable of leading in a way that is not just emotional with heart, but also fully with a logical mind.
Indeed. As you look ahead for Western Air, as you look ahead in your role as CEO, in your life's journey, what are you looking forward to most for Western Air, one? And then two, what are you doing to intentionally prepare someone to take over from Rexy role?
Ooh, we just talked about this.
Good.
You know, I will say there's a lot to come for Western Air, God willing. We are exploring a variety of different routes, but more importantly, I mean, we just want to continue to refine what we're doing today. And I think there's so many different ways that we can do that, and so many opportunities we have yet to tap into, and partnerships and connectivity with, you know, hotel partners, and just offering our clientele more opportunities to travel in a really cool way and a really efficient, easy way. And so we want to just continue to refine ourselves, but also gradually expand and scale. For me, we have not identified someone just yet. However, I do think I am very hopeful with the new talent that we're bringing in. They have a lot of passion for aviation, and I just think that this new generation that is evolving, that we're seeing, even with, I mean, a variety of folks from various talent pools, whether that's, you know, pilots that are coming in, but that are also expressing interest in administration aspects of it. There's so much, you know, and then of course, I have a little brother who has already told me he's preparing to go to ground school.
Wow.
And, you know, he's only in grade 9. but you know, there's certainly not a lack of passion for aviation. So I think, God willing, we will be in good hands.
Absolutely, very good. Do you believe leaders are born or made?
So I believe there are natural born leaders. However, do also believe that you can develop your leadership skills. And so two things can be true. And so I think there's also so many different types of leadership styles and different types of leaders. And you can recognize natural born leaders, maybe it will come easier to them and they won't have to do as much development. However, it's both.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There's a little girl right now watching you. She has something awakened in her, something jumped, something leaped in her. What do you say to her? She has been believing that her circumstance is her reality. She's seen examples of women that have been striving and women that have been struggling. How do you encourage her to believe that she is capable and will do what she has in her heart to do?
You have to believe that there is a place for you. Don't mind all these people on TV, as cool as they look, and on social media. Don't believe things on social media. What you have to know is that you belong, and you belong in the highest places that you could imagine. And if I could do it, you could do it. We all have 24 hours in the day. It's all a constant decision of what we decide to do with it. Whatever it is, just remember to always focus on your sphere of influence. Sometimes people are so focused on networking up and they're not expressing their dreams and their visions to the people right around them. Everyone should know what your passion is because you don't know who that person knows, who that person knows. You are the walking, breathing brand for yourself, for your potential new business. So treat it as such.
Indeed.
Treat yourself as a brand.
Excuse me. That is so good. Ladies and gentlemen, leaders of all generations, tonight we examine transition. And what we discovered is something many leaders quietly resist. Change does not destabilize leadership, it reveals it. Anyone can manage stability. Anyone can protect a system that is already working. Anyone can preserve momentum when friction is low. But when systems are migrating, when culture is adjusting, when expectations are rising, when customers are watching, when teams are fatigued, and when the future demands modernization, leadership is no longer about confidence, it becomes about clarity. Tonight, we learned that innovation is not a threat to organizations. Misalignment is. Indecision is. Transition is not without fractures. It's not what fractures trust. Inconsistency does. Modernization does not mean weakened culture. Avoidance does. Because when organizations in transition, there is no room for ego. There's no room for emotional volatility. There's no room for impulsive decision-making. There is only clarity, communication, alignment, and disciplined execution. And here's what I want every leader watching us tonight to understand. Your organization will face transition. Your team will face change. Your systems will evolve. And in those moments, you will be tempted to retreat to what was comfortable. But if you cannot lead people through change, you cannot lead people at scale. If you cannot remain steady when friction arises, you cannot steward the trust. If you confuse activity with strategy, you will exhaust your team without ever evolving your system. Now, as we move throughout this month where International Women's Day is recognized around the world, let's tonight serve as a reminder that leadership is not about who occupies the seat. It is about how they steward that seat. Representation does matter, but responsibility sustains access. Discipline preserves, and progress is not measured by who enters the room. It is measured by what they build once they're inside that room. This is my national charge to you tonight. The Bahamas does not need leaders who fear transition. It needs leaders who can navigate it, who are not interested in symbolic change. We need leaders who want strategic evolution. It does not need louder voices, it needs steadier hands. We need leaders who understand that culture must evolve, that systems must modernize, and that trust must be protected at all costs. Rexy Rule, thank you so much for running it down with me tonight. It was an honor to serve with you this evening. We hope that our conversation has helped you to examine what leadership requires in a season of transition. And to every leader watching tonight, you may not be overseeing a system migration. You may not be leading a national institution, but whenever you are leading, someone is depending on your steadiness, someone is depending on your clarity, and someone is depending on your courage to evolve. So lead like stability depends on you. Lead like culture depends on you. Lead like the future depends on you, because whether you acknowledge it or not, it does. We invite you to stay tuned to the Bahamas at 11 p.m. with Carvel Pyfram, where we have the final word on broadcast in all things happening around our country. I'm the short counsel for the leadership, for the Rundown on Leadership. Everyone, until next time, lead with clarity, lead with tenacity, and most of all, lead with integrity. See you next week, should the Lord delay is calling. Take care, everyone.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paiswell Forbes. This is ZNS.